Bro Plata, everyone. Welcome. We are here on a Monday, maybe a Tuesday, maybe a Wednesday. Who knows? Who knows exactly where you're at when you're watching or listening to this on our many platforms. I have been busy as fuck all day editing old episodes that are going up on our Anchor FM page. That's also going to Spotify, iHeartMedia, the fillings in your uncle's teeth because he keeps saying the FBI is after him. Just places all near and far. And there is one editing note, and Tim will love this. I was keeping this from him until the actual episode today. Episode 59 will be a ghost episode for audio. I seem to have not downloaded that one like I do. And I will now, that will be available on where we're streaming everywhere live every time we do a live stream, which is Facebook, YouTube, and Tim's favorite place in the world, Twitch. And that's
Can I talk now? No, I'm sorry. Still can't talk.
I'm finishing up the intro. Follow us on all social medias at Bro Plata. And yeah, we're here. We're here for another episode, sir.
So which episode was 59? Was that just us? I hope it was.
What?
Which episode was 59?
Episode 59. Let's go to let's go to Facebook here.
I mean, it wasn't John or Jerry, was it?
If it was John or Jerry, John Gunther is up. That's episode 55.
Oh, good.
I had that one downloaded. I think 259 it wasn't an interview. It was just basically us talking about what we always talk about, which is fighting and fighting related items. Let me look here.
That's fine. No one was going to listen to it anyway. I'm just happy that it wasn't John or Jerry, because that would have been a problem.
I agree. If that would have been a hell of a way to do it, to convert, to be converting that kind of stuff. Just based on the fact that I'm always lazy, as we can tell, it's taking me this long to finally put up the episodes. But I think that episode, if I'm not mistaken, episode 56, by the way, is up as well, in video form and audio form. That was fun to have to go through that, but I'm looking. We're doing things.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't John or Jerry. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't John or Jerry.
No, it was the preview episode for UFC 258, where we lost money. So that's there.
Well, when you're in Vegas. Okay.
Yes, the Vegas episode, which will be the ghost episode we have on our pages.
It's on YouTube still.
Yeah, it's on YouTube and our Facebook. Go to @Bro Plata. Also follow us on Twitter @Bro Plata as well. I'm posting a lot of the episodes. I posted a live link for today's episode as well. With me looking like I'm in a Vincent Price movie right now, just the way the light's going off my face here. Let me move. I just wanted some backlighting. That's all I wanted. Just wanted some backlighting.
I keep getting fatter every time we do an episode.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, we have, those are good interviews. We have one coming up. We're not going to say who it is. Right.
No, we actually have two interviews coming up. One's going to be a hang for our preview episode.
You didn't tell me about this. Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Yes, we're gonna have. He said yes today, so we just before we went on the air.
All right, we're good. That's good. And we have another one. We're not going to talk about it because we may or may not have mentioned this person in the past and it didn't happen. So we're just going to pretend nothing's happening and just boom. And we're doing it. We're going to do it on Zoom, right? So it's not going to be live.
No.
We're just gonna put it up when we're done with it. So
yeah, that episode or that video will go up right after it is done. I'm gonna send it over to
don't even mention an episode number just in case.
No, I'm not even doing that. I'm amazed we've made it to 65. By the way, this has been. Hey man. This is cool. I've never had this is the longest podcast I think I've ever done.
Well, you've kind of had to be careful what you wish for, man, because you wanted someone who's going to be really into it, and then I'm so into it that I'm yelling at you. So,
well, I like that.
Yeah, be careful what you wish for.
I like motivation, sir.
But I'm very happy that you're getting some stuff back up because, like I said, I was gonna wait till everything's back online and or get back and caught up, and then I'm gonna buy a camera, which is good because I need a
yeah,
camera.
me too.
This one,
I'm finally gonna do that myself and a new laptop.
okay, this one I'm gonna try to ride this baby out laptop wise, for a while until it dies. And then if I get another one, I might just get one. I'm just gonna use it for streaming. So, as long as the internet works.
Yeah,
it's not like I use it for much else. Maybe eventually I'll get something for editing, but right now, I don't know. I mean, I'd probably get a cheaper one than this one was if I get a new one. Anyway,
I'm thinking about Chromebook myself.
Okay. I don't really have Apple anything. I don't have an Apple phone or
me either.
I might use Chrome, but I had iPods back in the day. I should still have my iPods.
Yeah, I never had an iPod ever.
I had a Gen 1 iPod. It was huge.
Really?
Like a paperweight. I still have it somewhere.
Imagine the song. I want you to find that iPod.
It was just.
And I want to see what young Tim was listening to at the time.
It was just all my CDs that I had. All my whole CD collection was just ended up on there. So a lot of
So only you had 3 CDs because you couldn't put dick on those old school iPods.
Actually, dude, that thing was like an 80 gig. It was huge.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It was so old though that when they started using iTunes, it wasn't compatible with iTunes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you had to use like this. I forget what the name of the Music Match Jukebox or something like that. You had to use.
Okay.
And because I had crappy internet at home, I didn't like. I'm trying to say I had to put it in everything manually. Wow. So I didn't a bunch of the albums I have just like track 1 through 12 or whatever, but they have the name of the album and the artist, but they don't have the track names because I didn't feel like doing it.
I really didn't have like a digital media player until I got my first cell phone. No, I didn't. I couldn't even afford a Zune, man. Like I was that poor white trash boy who like was still making CDs on LimeWire at the age of 21. Like I was that guy. Kids
will understand. They won't understand iPods.
CDs were this
thing. They won't understand. They won't understand. The Napster and the LimeWire phases. Those were fun.
Oh, I ruined probably my mom and dad's computer so hard trying to make
everyone
trying
did,
to
right?
make these, just trying to make CDs. It was
hilarious.
Oh my god, man, those were fun days. And then you'd like that was sort of if you're into like weird, fucked up shit like I am. Like that's where you would like find videos where you'd be like, what the fuck is this video? Like, god damn, that's where I found like 2 Girls, 1 Cup.
Yeah. Everyone remembers that.
1 Jar was another one.
Remembers where they were when they saw that for the first time.
Oh my god. Just watching, I love it more, Bobby. If you've never been a fan of Opie and Anthony, there's a video of Bobby Kelly watching 2 Girls, 1 Cup, and it's akin to the Zapruder film. Like he's just like, what is that? What is that, dude? What? And he's just like, he just has a bird stomach, and like it's hilarious to like watch.
Yeah, I wish I would have. I mean, at the time, I didn't have the technology to do it. I would need an actual camera to do it, but I wish I would have recorded myself watching it because I would have had probably the same reaction. I'm sure it's the same as everybody's. Anyway, Ray, fun weekend, huh, friend?
Oh, it was a blast, but I want to actually talk about something right quick. Today is International Women's Day. Shout out to all the women and also to the Lioness. Amanda Nunes will be talking about her fight coming up. But I said I have a tone deaf moment that I'd like to bring to light. And they wound up putting a thread to this tweet. Did the Burger King UK Twitter account decided on International Women's Day to say this.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, okay. The tweet, because now we're going to be on all our audio platforms again. The tweet was Burger King, and it says, women belong in the kitchen. Thanks. So good job, Burger King. Good call.
When I saw, I was listening to Anthony Cumia today, and that was like one of the first things that they talked about was that. So I felt like we had to share that on. I hope at least they don't lose their job, but like get a stern talking to about that. Just because
It's funny that some of these companies, what they do with Twitter now, like Wendy's was like the first one to like, I think they hire funny people.
Yeah.
And they just started, like they started roasting people, whatever. Like, hey, Wendy's roasting me. It was like roasting people. It's pretty funny. That was pretty great. I don't know if this was like this and someone was just trying to make a joke, but yeah, I'm sure it's going to get more outrage than laughs. I'm laughing at it, but because I'm assuming they just said it as a joke. But
well, actually,
you got to know better. You're probably going to get fired.
They did follow up with it, and this is where the context kind of comes into play. I guess what Burger King is doing, because there's not that many women chefs anymore, like how Julia Childs.
Got you.
And I guess they only 20% worldwide, or no, 20% in the UK chefs in the country are women.
Isn't that weird?
Not really.
No, listen, I know more as far as home chefs. I know more women that can cook than men. So that's why I think it's strange that so many more men go into the profession of being a chef. But I don't.
Yeah, it's better taste buds. Men are just superior to everybody. And
here's big business, sexist Ray Hyclack. Jeez,
boom, business.
I need a blanket statement every single time you say something sexist. It's like, dude. I'm not apologizing for it. It's him. I'm just saying I do not share the same views as him. Yeah, Ray's over here throwing the sexist bombs. This monster. No, but like never in my life. Like if you had two restaurants, or like which one do you want to go to? They both have world-class chefs, and one was a man, one was a woman. I'd be like, well, which one's better? Like, which one?
Yeah.
Who has more Michelin stars? Whatever. If it was a tie, I still wouldn't care. What kind of food? Right?
Yeah.
The point is, it's food, man. Most of the good food I've had that I know, it's been cooked by my family members who cook, and most of them, my men in my family cook too, but mostly my grandmother, my mother. And,
nice. It's
I can't cook for the shit.
And to end on this, and we'll close out the conversation on it with saying what the whole point was. They also had I guess they have a scholarship for people who work at Burger King who want to be in culinary. They offer a scholarship payment towards going to culinary school to follow your dream, if you will. But it was definitely like that thing at the time had like 150,000 fucking retweets, and it was like a lot of likes, but not probably for the good reason.
Well, maybe that was the strategy, right? Because they knew it was going to get a lot of attention, even though it was negative. But I think they thought, hey, if they get a bunch of attention, maybe we can throw this next tweet up there, and then people can see the context, right? Yeah. That way they can get our word out. Yeah, it's viral marketing. If people do that kind of stuff on purpose nowadays, it's viral marketing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it worked, right? Because right now, if they try to talk shit, it was just they try to do the right thing. It just was worded kind of funny. That's all. But good for Burger King then, for the most part.
Yeah, they responded with a "we hear you," that kind of stuff, and then explained why they said it. But I love the fact that they just threw that out there, like it was.
I think that had to be the strategy, right? Like this is going to blow up, and then let's hit them with the context. I like it.
I hope whoever's in charge of the Burger King UK tweet was sitting on their couch or in their office, just going. Like just like I know this is gonna suck, but
it would be funny if they had to put that context in as a cover up. Like, oh crap, who did this? Was it Jim? Jim again, that asshole.
Kyle, why are you doing this? Stop it.
Kyle's on the Ativan again.
Have you been snorting Xanax too many times this week? We told you not to tweet anything sexist. Anything. You wanted to write "women belong in cages," and all of a sudden people were like, "Brr."
Yeah, Ray. All right, please don't.
It's like, what a way to.
Please don't tweet anything sexist, man. And if you do, make sure you put your name on it.
I will. But way to all of a sudden just be like, well, I don't have a career anymore. Like, oh, I love it.
Yeah. Not to bury the lead too much more before we actually talk about anything else. 3 title fights. We have 1 new champion in a weird fight. Your dude Blachowicz looked awesome, and Amanda Nunes looked like Amanda Nunes. All right, so we mentioned that. I wanted to mention it before we talked about anything else, so people weren't thinking we weren't burying the league completely. Right?
No.
We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it because it was great and there's great fights.
Yeah.
That being said, Ray, I think it's time for my hero of the week.
All right, who, sir? Let me get your banner up here, and
we need a sounder too for this, like the hero of the week. I'll go that or something like that.
Hero of the week, yeah.
All right,
Hero of the week.
Yeah. Okay. Something like that. So, honorable mentions. Number one, Ray Highclock, your honorable mention this week because you got a new job.
Oh,
and you got fired from a job in the same week, which is kind of hilarious. Not the same job.
Yeah. I've had that happen, though. I've had that happen in the past.
Yeah. Are you really that bummed? I don't think you're bummed.
Not really. Just because to be political, I mean, it was a great job. I love the actual form of work I was doing. I thought it was a really it's an easy gig. But some stuff, especially when I came back from Vegas, I was getting severely cut hours and stuff like that, on purpose, by the way. I found that out, which kind of hurt, but at the same time, it's like, okay, just let me go if you're angry about something. Sorry, bro. It's not my, I got offered to go somewhere and just relax since I've been in the house for a year kind of thing. But now I'm working for a company I've worked with before. I like the people that I'm working with. I trust them. We've had our differences in the past, but I mean, that was also during a part of my life when like just shit was going wrong. And then moving to Denver, everything went completely wrong, around that time. And, but now I'm back with this company, so I'm excited. Plus it's something I'm already licensed for. So it's not like I actually have, a license in the thing I'm doing now, which is pest control. And,
so it's sure not podcasting.
No. They wouldn't give me a fucking license if I paid for one. What, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Especially with some of the things I've said and will say on this podcast today. But it's I like what I'm going to be doing now. Money's fucking fantastic. So I'm very happy about that, getting this new gig, because it's a great gig where you're in a truck all day and you're not. I actually saw a guy I trained with at Griffin Raw and also Practical Self-Defense, along with the Revolution. Saw him today at a gas station, and he's driving a truck with a dumpster on it. So he like transports dumpsters and shit. And he was like, yeah, I'm in a truck all day. I'm by myself. It's calming. Like, yeah, it's very calming. All you have to do is just pull up to someone's house, spray, and then you're done. It's great. It's a fantastic job. Love it. Can't wait to be doing it again.
Well, good. Yeah, I'm happy for you. That's good.
Thank you, buddy.
Here you go. Hero of the week. Well, you didn't get hero of the week. You got honorable mention. I'm sorry.
Let's say the honorable mention. I'll take
honorable mention, right? And there's a lot of fighters that deserve honorable mention as well. Amanda Nunes always, but not just for her fighting, but also, I'm seeing her and her wife and her daughter was pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, it's her daughter. I thought it was that's the thing about babies. Like, you can never really tell when they have clothes on. Like, they're just genderless.
I got you. No, she said a bunch of times it was her daughter, but yeah, her name's Regan or something. Yeah. Anyway, okay. However, hero of the week, man, this is a big one for me.
Hero of the week.
Hero of the week is lady from Rite Aid lady. I don't know if it's a pharmacist. I don't know who it was. Someone, and I don't know their name. Somebody from Rite Aid saved my life. I realized recently that one of my medications I've been taking for like 8 years, my insurance now decided they're not going to cover it anymore. And I didn't know that. So all of a sudden there's like $330 or something for my prescription, which is ridiculous.
Are you fucking kidding
me? And I'm not
me?
going to the doctor for like another month or so. I'm like, what am I going to do? I've been taking this for 8 years. So I was looking for coupons, and I found one to get some off. And they put that in, and someone was like, hold on. And she comes back. She's like, hey, we found you another coupon. And they got it down to like 75, which is huge. She's like, oh, so I'd save like $250 because the Rite Aid ladies found a coupon somewhere stored. And I don't know, I guess my point, number one, if you can't afford your meds, and if your insurance isn't helping at all, try GoodRx. They help a lot. right? They have all kinds of coupons for pretty much whatever you want. I didn't know about GoodRx for a long time. I would have saved so much more money if I would have known about it like 5 years before I knew about it. But that place has already saved me a bunch of money anytime my insurance doesn't. And it did this time. But I don't know how they did, but they found me an extra coupon. I don't know if it's through GoodRx or what. But yeah, it saved me like $250, which is good because I'm trying to buy a camera and whatnot. And I lost $150 on those fights a couple weeks ago. So it's good. It helped. It's still more expensive than it was, but it was also a 3-month supply, which I wouldn't have asked for if I knew it was going to be that much, but it never is before. So
yeah,
it's fine. If I can get it, if I knew I can get it that price every 3 months, I would probably just stay on the medication because I could handle $25 a month for it. But any more than that, it's kind of nuts. But yes, right. Thank you, Right Ed Lady. Hero of the week. You saved my life.
That's awesome. And that's the one thing that kind of frustrates me. And I know I like to do, conservative stuff on here, like, what would be considered conservative leaning, my misogyny. And
anyone who listens from any other countries, if you have any questions about the American medical system, Medicare system, please ask us. We'll definitely tell you about the time that we almost were homeless because we broke an arm or something like that. That's not personally America.
Yeah.
Like if you break a bone, now most people, working people who don't have normal insurance, if they break something, they're screwed, so screwed.
Yeah.
Because you have to go to the doctor, right? And you can't afford, it just sucks. If you can't pay the medical bills, then your credit gets jacked up and it fucks up your life. So yeah, it would be, I couldn't imagine going somewhere. I've had Medicare and Medicaid, so I guess sometimes I do get stuff paid for. But I don't have full coverage right now. But also has been times where I didn't have any insurance and it sucked.
Yeah, I was the same way for a while. Actually, within I recently got Medicaid. I want to say it was 2 years ago when I first came back when I was back home from Colorado. I got Medicaid and was approved. Never really used it just because I'm one of those people that doesn't really go to the doctor unless I just need to, kind of thing.
Right.
Which probably will leave me at the ripe old age of 55, if any, at max.
I take meds, right? So every month I have to use it, right? But the thing is, my medication insurance is different from, and that's weird. It's a separate company, and they're shady. Like there's other stuff that I wanted to take before I couldn't take because it was too expensive, and I really don't want to. Like I said, this medication I've been taking for longer than any other one. It's been like 8 years, so I don't want to mess with it.
Well, I mean,
not saying there wouldn't be something better, but I'm okay with it right now. So, it sucks because they dropped it and I didn't know. I mean, I didn't do the research and go through and look if they're going to cover all the same meds they've been covering, which I probably should have done, but I didn't, and I found out the hard way. So
it bothers me that our and we're one of the biggest producers of medications in the world. Like right. America's pharmaceutical companies are billionaires because of the fact that it bothers me that they jack these prices up.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Should cost $375 at all for medication, especially psychotropics. I'm sorry, that's fucked up. That's really fucked up, and I don't like that.
No, it's
at all.
I had to pay. Without a coupon, it was like $320 some dollars for another month's worth of a different medication I was taking. I don't take that because I can't afford it. But there is some debates about innovation with drugs in this country is so much more than other places, and a lot of it is because the incentive is money, and one of the reasons the incentive is money is because they charge so much, and we don't have like a national system. So I'm not the one to make the decision. I just wish everyone can get covered who wants to be covered. That's what I'm saying.
I agree.
Do I know there's more nuanced things into it? And yes, absolutely. I know there's more than just, I'm not one of those people that's like, boom, automatically let's do it because it's the right thing to do. I'm like, it'd be great if we could figure it out, but we got to figure it out first, right?
Yep.
So the thing is, I want everyone to be able to be covered, but I know it's just not as easy to say, hey, let's do it. I wish it was.
But so we're going to give the United States Pharmaceutical Company a thumbs down.
Thumbs down guy.
That's big thumbs down.
Yeah,
big
that
thumbs
happens.
Down. Terrible. Horrible people. Should
that
be burned at the stake for what they've done.
The Sacklers, have you heard the story about that family? That's like I don't know. It's the Oxycontin family. Like a whole family that basically has.
Oh, yeah. It was on John Oliver. John Oliver did a thing on them. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, apparently no one will even take their money as like a donation anymore.
Good.
Which you know what though? Well, I get it. I was about to say if you need money for a charity, it's still money, but I understand. I understand it.
Oh yeah, you can't be seen with that.
Right, I get it. I get it. But it's charitable. It's going to a good cause. But where'd it come from? Yeah, so that makes sense. It's like taking like Pablo Escobar's drug money when he would like help out his neighborhoods, like when he was, you know, a bajillionaire back in the day. They're like, oh yeah, but he's helping the neighbors. I'm like, yeah, but how many people have died? Because you know,
yeah. Or the mob where it's like they protect him, but they still like break our window once a month. I don't know what's going on.
Right.
I have my segment now. And I'd like to get this out of the way and talk about this just because we can then move on to more pressing matters. Yesterday, if you're a professional wrestling fan, AEW's Revolution was happening at the Daly's Place in right next to where the Jacksonville Jaguars play. Tony Khan and Amir Khan are the owners of the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're also the owners of All Elite Wrestling, helmed up by Cody Rhodes and a bunch of other people. Had a pay-per-view yesterday, kind of ho-hum, not a fantastic pay-per-view, but not a bad pay-per-view. I'd say probably in the middle, 2.5, 3 stars. If I'm really going to give my thing. Thank you. Shout out to my friend Bill and Alyssa for letting me use their BR Live login. Paid them $10 for the privilege, just because I believe you should do that kind of stuff if you have the opportunity to do it and stuff works that way. But they had, Timothy, a very special match, and we've had Dr. Jerry Graham Jr. on this show, professional wrestling legend, and we watched a barbed wire match of his, which I love barbed wire matches. They're always kind of unpredictable. You don't really know what's going to happen. And the terms of this match are 30-minute. There's a 30-minute timer where if nobody gets a victory, you get 10 minutes or you get a countdown from 10 and the ring explodes. It's been done in Japan many times. Atsushi Onita, who they had in the promo package talking about the match. I wish he would have been consulted more, to be honest with you, because I want to show this utter farting church that we're about to watch. And I feel so bad for the guy in the white shirt, Eddie Kingston.
Well, you know, you should show the other one first, I believe.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Because you showed this to me without context, and I was just like, "What is? I don't understand what's going on here." Right?
Yeah.
Can you show me the other video? Like, this is what a good one looks like. I'm like, okay, all right. Yep. So let's see how it's done right in Japan.
Yes, this was from 1994 Michinoku Pro. For those of you who are wrestling fans that are watching or listening to us on our various things, you can watch it with us. Go to Pro Wrestling Ring Explodes. Seriously, Japanese deathmatch wrestling. And Atsushi Onita is the gentleman right here with the white bandage on his head. And then he will be power bombing the great Sasuke, who is a legend in Japan, still active. I hope one day to see him over here and he's wrestled in the WWF in the 90s, but I want to see him more on television here. But let's play this. I'll give a countdown of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, what are we watching? Okay, he's pinning him. He's trying. Okay, he didn't pin him. Oh, there we go. It blows up. Boom. That's like an A-bomb. That's a lot of smoke. Jeez. The entire ring is covered with probably like a 20-foot cloud of smoke. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, that was a huge thing for wrestling fans in the 90s, and I just want to kind of show it again because I love Onita here. After he gets the pinfall, he just grabs the referee, and he's just like, "Shit, get down!" Boom. And
well, obviously that's ridiculously dangerous, and it's probably another one of the reasons why the one you were about to show you was not that. Unfortunately, but that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean that's what the one thing I like about pro wrestling is you do get like actual cool moments like that
Well, I
where
could see
like
that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
but the ring explodes. Yeah, buddy, this is dope. I love this. This is fun. And again, like I said, in this video that we're about to show you, I feel worse for the gentleman in the white shirt than I do for anyone else. Thank you to Ryan Cook for this video, by the way, on useless, unsuccessful, and or unpopular wrestling memes. I love this group. I always send Tim stuff. I always send a bunch of my friends stuff from this group, so go check them out. So Jon Moxley, for context, is lying on the ground, handcuffed, and the bomb is about to go off on the ring. And I'll let comedy legend at the end of this let you know how I felt sitting on a couch watching this.
Yeah, that's a bummer compared to the other one. Yeah, it sizzles out. Yeah, it's kind of like yeah, there's Krusty the Clown being angry about it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's like a bad sparkler. It was.
Oh my, a bad sparkler.
I mean,
It
looks like what would happen.
Explosion.
It was what would happen if you bought the legal fireworks you can get in Ohio and try to do that yourself. That's about how good it would be. But I could definitely see you as a fan. You're hearing, hey, it's going to be an exploding ring match. You know, you heard about other ones. You see that one in Japan, you're like, oh man, this is going to be great. And then you get that. It's a bummer. You're right.
Yeah.
It's a bummer. But like I said, I mean, number one, it probably wouldn't even be legal for them to do anything crazy like they did in Japan. I'm sure there's fire safety codes. That's probably about the best they could possibly do. So, point is, they should just say, nah, let's just not do it.
Yeah. And but that what made me giggle too was there's a guy named Bryce Remsburg who was not in the thing, and we're gonna try and get Bryce on because Bryce has actually like connections to Cleveland, Ohio as well. He's from the East Coast, I believe Philadelphia area. He was wearing a painter's suit with like a mask, like one of those face shields, and I guess he was being sprayed down with fire retardant like material and posted it on his Facebook. So I want to get talking to him. Obviously, we're not going to say how bad it was, but at the same time, I want to kind of get his experience of being in that environment and like, holy shit, I can't believe this is actually happening right now kind of moment. But no, yeah, man, it was a fart in church. I've never felt so let down in my life as a wrestling fan. And a bunch of I'm part of a few groups on Facebook, and I've just been trolling AEW marks pretty much all day. So while I'm editing, I'm kind of doing, and I got hate for a lot of it.
Here's one thing. I feel like if AEW or any promotion says, hey, we're going to do this match on an Indian reservation and it's going to be an exploding ring match, then you can be like, oh, okay, something's going to happen this time. Now something's going to happen, right? Because anything can happen there, man. Anything goes. Well, whatever they want goes, really, is the laws for the most part, which is cool. But yeah, I can understand it being a bummer. Sure. But like I said, when you sent me that thing, I'm like, what is this? What is when you told me, oh, this is what it's supposed to look like? I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I understand why that would be a bummer to you. But
I showed you the sizzle first, not the steak. Just because
you didn't do it right. Anyway, you know what I was kind of bummed about is that no one wants this UFC fights in Texas.
I know.
Texas, like, quote unquote, opened up, but what I told Ray yesterday, and we talked about it a little bit in the last episode, is because Dana White went to Dallas. It's called Dallas, and they said no, we're not doing it. I'm like, okay, that makes sense because the Dallas Mavericks right now, and they're almost like 18,000 ish to 20 seat arena for basketball. They're only having 4,500 max fans. Same thing with the Houston Rockets. The San Antonio Spurs still don't have anyone. So yeah, those cities aren't going to okay this for a full arena. They're not going to. But what I did look at, just because I found a list and I was looking at, there's a lot of arenas in Texas with like 5,000 to 10,000 people. And there's a lot of UFC cards have had about that many people. Have had like 7,000 people. Not all of them have tons. I mean, UFC 260 would have more, but if you can't do it, you do it. You can. And also, My point is, I think one of those mayors somewhere would be like, "Hey, come down here." Although there is obviously more to it. They probably would still need some sort of a bubble. They probably would do it because they'd still be testing, and they would need hotels, and it'd be more than just the arena itself. My point is, I'm waiting for one of these mayors in one of these towns with a civic center or like 10,000 seats or more or less ish, 5 to 10, saying, "Hey, come on down, come on," because that happened. We talked about, was it Dothan, Alabama, back in the day?
UFC 12.
Yeah,
it was right after Buffalo, or the state of New York made MMA fighting illegal. They just had to kind of up and move. Rogan's talked about it.
That was Rogan's first card, I believe.
Yeah, he was doing their backstage interviews at the time.
Yeah. Did you hear him do that story on This Is Not Happening about Mark Coleman in the strip club?
Is that Mark Coleman? Please, more than life itself, I want that to be Mark Coleman.
He didn't say the guy's name, but he used the context clues, and I'm like, he's talking about Mark Coleman. I
would have also thought Don Fry, to be honest with you.
Was Don Fry on that card? Mark Coleman was.
Yeah.
So he has to be Mark Coleman. And I looked up, and Mark Coleman was on the card. So if I had to guess, it's definitely Mark Coleman. Anyway, check it out. It's on Comedy Central's YouTube page, I believe.
Yeah.
Anyway, in Mississippi's also open up too. So one of these towns is gonna call someone. I wish they would. It'd be kind of fun. Like if they were talking, we'll see if we can just for the heck of it, just to give a middle finger to people, see if we can fill this 7,000 seat stadium. Thing is, even if it was in a weird spot, there's enough people that would been dying to go to an event. They'll have people fly in. They'll have people fly into Amarillo or wherever the hell. To see this thing. I would like to, but it'd be difficult because you'd have to, especially if it wasn't in a real big city with its own airport, right? You have to rent a car. It's a whole thing. It's expensive. Yeah,
and if you went to like Amarillo, I don't know if they used to have.
I just picked a place, man. And they have an arena. I know they do because I told you I looked at that list. There's tons.
Alan's come in on our show today and actually said, "Bro trip to Texas. We're going to bro tripping."
Yeah,
bro tripper. I like that.
Ray's not allowed, Alan. I don't want Alan to ruin our bro trip. Although
Alan would probably get sick of me and be like, "Get the fuck out."
I told you about, we ran into Dwayne Duke on our last bro trip to Nashville. I told you about that.
Yeah.
Love Dwayne.
Which that one, by the way, is up as well. The episode with Dwayne Duke.
It's about 25 minutes of good stuff on that thing before the internet went crappy.
Yeah, it happens.
But we'll have Dwayne back on.
Oh, yes. Alan likes me. Alan likes me. I like Alan.
You know what that means, Ray? It means he hasn't met you.
This is true.
He doesn't actually know you.
You're right, but why not let me be a part of the bros, man?
Hey, Ray wants to go to Vegas, Ray, Alan, so we can all go to Vegas. We do that.
I'm absolutely
whatever.
down.
Alan
Next
knows
year.
Alan knows on Thursday for a bro trip, just somewhere. This year I need to go somewhere. I don't know where I can swing it right now, so I want to do it before I don't have any money left. So hopefully somewhere. I don't really care where, really. Texas will be fun because you can do anything in Texas right now. So
pretty much. Hell yes, he's agreeing. It's already
Vegas,
official.
probably.
All we need to do is plan it. I need money first too.
Well, Alan needs to get permission. This makes sense. He's a good lady. He doesn't want to make her angry. I don't want to make her angry either. That'd be terrible. His wife's amazing. So yeah, he has to make sure that's okay with her. That's the biggest thing, right? Maybe we have to wait till we get our vaccinations. It might not even happen till like the summer or more for us.
Yeah, they're opening up they opened up a mass vaccination site downtown Cleveland at the Wolstein Center.
Yeah, you told me that. Yeah, I think they're doing one at Akron too. But can anyone go though?
I think right now it's still the one seized.
Yeah, okay. Because the health department here in the county, you can sign up. At first, it was 65 and older. Now it's like, teachers, police, type 1 diabetes, like there's a handful of things, but I'm not on that list, so still waiting.
Well, start eating a lot more donuts, and you'll get there.
Not type 1. That's not how that works.
Type 2. Oh yeah, type 2 is the one where you develop it over time. I forgot about that. Brian Kenny has type 2, I believe, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Not to air his dirty laundry, but I think he's talked about it on different platforms as well. So
yeah, he has. Yeah. Brian has. He's talked about doing shows with Chris Harvey and Dave Herron, who are both over 400 pounds, and he's the only one who has diabetes of the three of them.
Yeah.
And Brian, I mean, he actually got in really good shape when he got diagnosed, so I don't even think he takes anything for it. I think he managed it himself, which is good.
Yeah, he checks his blood sugar and stuff. When he used to host the show with John Bruton, that was the.
Sometimes you can keep your two in check. Your one is different. One's a different story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're born with that one.
Yeah.
Oh man, that would suck. That would suck hardcore. Just to like, what kind of candy can you eat? I can't. Son of a bitch. I don't know.
John. Said his wife is eligible to get one now.
Did you already
talk about the ball guy that got that guy? Okay. We're talking about the Peter Yan fight. No, we haven't talked about any of the fights yet. We were just about to. Where we're going next.
That's actually, I'm about to pull up the screen share for this to happen. By the way, just because, go to our share this. This is actually us uploading an episode, Anchor FM or anywhere for Spotify and those kind of places to get our episodes. Dr. Jerry Graham Jr. obviously is being put up as we speak. So that's a good thing.
This is Alan Plotz, the guy who talks shit every time. Like, he was watching a fight. He just texted me, "This fight sucks. This fight sucks." What fight doesn't suck to you? You hate all fights. You watch them, or you hate them all. And he was able. Actually, I was actually happy we were able to do this. He was able to watch the pay-per-view from my account. I guess you could watch it 2 different places or on 2 accounts at once. I didn't know
on
that.
UFC or ESPN Plus.
Yeah, if you buy it, you can watch it on 2 accounts at once. So that's good.
Really?
Because I like to have as many people watch it as possible if I'm paying for it. So
interesting. Last time I tried to do that, it told me I still had to buy the pay-per-view. Yeah,
we tried it with the Conor McGregor fight, but what happened was there was the other glitches on my end. It had nothing to do with that. So we tried it this time and it worked. So that's good.
Oh, okay. Good to know. That's good to know.
I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I found out that time that you're allowed to watch it at 2 different places at once. So we're not doing anything wrong.
No,
you're allowed to watch it at 2 places at once. There you go.
I mean, it was purchased.
Yeah, that's how I paid for it.
That's how I watched Revolution last night. You could I'm
abiding by the rules of ESPN Plus,
and I was abiding by Bleacher Report Live, on their stuff. So that was good.
Alan says he only likes fights where guys don't hug each other for 15 minutes.
Oh, then you wouldn't like a Habib match at all, sir. You would not like the extreme hugging of Habib Nurmagomedov.
They hit each other, man. He hits each other, and his last 3 fights, he choked people out. So,
nah.
Yeah, get out of here. Yeah, the best of all time, the greatest of all time. Another one of the guys who we thought was one of the GOATs in the UFC, undefeated, got beat, and we'll start there. Start at the top.
Yeah, let's
Your
start.
Boy.
How about let me just say, hooray for Poland. We did it. All of us together cheering him on. We Polish people got our light heavyweight champion. I sound like the
where are you born, Ray? Tell us what part of Poland.
Cleveland, Ohio, sir.
Okay, right,
land of Polish people.
That's what I thought. Cleveland, Ohio.
You watch Big Chuck and Little John.
Anyway, man. And still, right?
Yeah.
Israel Adesanya was trying to come up and get 2nd belt, and Jan Blachowicz is like, "Not today, sir." This fight was a good fight. You were hoping it was going to be more exciting than it was, but it definitely was. It was definitely good. It's 2 technical strikers. It wasn't quite like as boring as the Yoel Romero fight with Izzy. And I said that it's very possible this fight could be boring if it ended up like that. It didn't go to that extreme. And it didn't go to the other extreme, and with Jan just pushing forward the whole time and trying to knock him out. But he was smart. I'm pretty sure I talked about this. If he takes him down, Izzy's ground game isn't that great, and he's a bigger guy. He can probably out grapple him, and he did that a lot and won some rounds. And he ended up, I think he only lost 1 round in all 3 judges' scorecards. So he had 49 across the board. So he looked great, man. He did a great job and fought a really dangerous dude.
There was a 48 in there, by the way.
Okay, he fought him super smart. And got the win. Good job, man.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by how much Jan Blachowicz was controlling the pace of the fight too. He really didn't let Izzy get into kind of a rhythm at 205. Which was good because I do think he could be dangerous at 205 against the right opponents.
He has to.
No, go ahead.
No, what I didn't like, it bummed me out that size ended up being more of a factor than I thought it was going to be. I was hoping it wouldn't be a factor, but it definitely was. Also, Izzy isn't great on the ground, but you have a guy who's, I mean, when the fight happened, when they weighed in, Jan was 205, Izzy was 200, right? But when the fight happened, Izzy was probably like 205 and Jan was probably 220, right?
Yep.
So at least he looked so much bigger than he did. And he did. He smothered him when he took him on the ground. And I wish it wasn't going to be as big of a deal as it is. You have to be pretty skilled, though, to be that much smaller than a guy. You see it a lot more in the heavyweight division, but you don't see any superpower grapplers up there right now.
No.
Anyway, yeah, that's what I wanted to say about the weight. But Jan looked fantastic, man. He's fought super, super smart. He didn't let Izzy really get going. They both got clocked a few times for sure. But yeah, it was great. I think the judges got it right for the most part. I mean, I know Dana White was kind of talking shit with the 10-8s. 10-8s are weird because for a while there wasn't enough 10-8s, and now there's too many 10-8s. Come on, man, make up your mind. Well, they changed the rules to allow more 10-8s. So, and now there's too many 10-8s. That last round, Izzy didn't do anything.
Agreed.
He was back the whole round, dude. It's fine, man. That's the way they've been going now. Yeah, it's a high profile fight, but it doesn't matter. I mean, either way, he won the round and he won the fight. But I feel like that's a fine to be a 10-8.
I agree. I did find the next day or yesterday a lovely meme. I have a few memes and a few things that we can talk about as well in two fights, because we're going to talk about Amanda Nunes next on International Women's Day. But this meme made me happy. It's just basically Polish power. Yum! Because Izzy was eating pizza in the weigh-ins, and Karma kind of bit him in the ass for just carb loading the way he did. But yeah, man, like I said, I was very happy with how Jan really just did control the pace. He didn't let Izzy get comfortable. I mean, and that was a smaller cage to begin with too, so you're kind of fighting in a phone booth. And yeah, man, he fought the perfect fight to win back or retain the light heavyweight championship. And I definitely I got a little drunk afterwards. I had a few more beers than I should have in celebration of Jan Blachowicz.
That's new for you. You don't do that ever.
Oh, I don't do anything crazy or wild or.
My thing by that fight, I was sober again. Like I drank before because we had the podcast earlier, and I was drinking then, and I drank up to maybe the main card started. By then, I was fine.
Yeah, me and my friends, we went over to my buddy's house and watched the pay-per-view on his 50-inch because he just likes to go big, hardcore on his TV watching.
50?
What?
50 is not that big, is it?
Was it 50 or 60? I can't remember.
Probably 60. If it's really big,
probably
60. 50 is not really that big for light school.
I don't know. I don't buy TVs, so I've been
looking to get one, but I don't.
This is my
not
TV.
Necessary. Yeah, I want a new one. I would like to get a little bit bigger one for the living room because I watch my TV in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not necessary right now. So it's, what are you going to spend your money? It's the thing. Like I'm going to get this camera maybe. And I want to go on a trip. So it's like, and I'm looking to get a car. So I'm like, got to choose your battles. And maybe TV is probably the one that's not real smart to get right now.
No, yeah, I'm trying. That's going to be one thing is like, it's probably going to be new-ish car. I might dump the car I have now, which is a Ford Focus wagon. And get like another K car.
Yeah, I have a Focus. I have a hatchback.
So, I remember.
Yeah, I've been looking at Focuses too. All kinds of stuff. I don't know. I'm just looking for the right car, man. You know what I found out, man? There's a lot better deals in Columbus.
Really?
So I went down to see Alan, and we went with the one place. And I mean, I could have, if I would have bought one of those cars that we drove, it would have been fine. But I might go back down there soon to look at cars again because there's a couple down there. That place, some Nissans coming. That I like. So anyway, thing is, so they're trying to get that out of the way, man, because I got to pay for cash for the car. So that's a big purchase.
Yes.
So after that, I'm going to figure out what I got. Anyway, your car, what you're saying?
Oh, no, I was just going to say that, and then a new laptop, and then better camera, and then probably another micro boom. And my ultimate goal is to buy like a warehouse space, and kind of figure out how much it would be to like buy like an old ass dilapidated, like like one that really needs a fix up and turn that into sort of like an entertainment space.
Well, that's what Rogan does, right? He just buys like airplane hangars, basically,
Yeah.
and just and puts rooms in them and stuff. And
that's what I want to do. I want to do like a small like studio in one area and then have like a bunch of fun shit and maybe also do stand-up shows, build like a stage and stuff like that too. I'd like to do that.
Just come put some drywall in my mother's garage. So my mother's garage is huge and there's tons of space in there because we don't really do anything with it. So
yeah, that's like I said though, I'm just trying to find something. I want to like, and possibly also live there. Just to have my own space, have like an upstairs kind of thing.
I can see that. You have a streamline or whatever the things are called.
No, I would live on the. I'd buy one with like a second floor, like an upstairs loft, and turn that into it. Yeah,
gotcha.
It would be fun. Have some grappling mats and fucking shit like that too. I'd put that stuff down.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
yeah. Also, when eventually this one day, I keep telling my mother I'm just going to get a cage, and one day it's just going to be a cage in the garage. It's nothing. There's plenty of room. Come on, we can still fit a car in here. It's fine.
It's like right here. We can just do it in the middle. Ma, we can do it. You got to leave me alone. I'm trying to do this now.
Yeah, I want to do because I want to start my own like street beats.
Yes,
street beefs. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, so with that title fight, now we're talking what's next for both guys. All right, Jan's easy because it's pretty obvious what's next for him. It's going to be Glover Teixeira.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be a fun match, man. Because I mean, listen, Glover's getting older, but he somehow is better than he's ever been, and he's like he's finishing really tough dudes like Anthony Smith and Thiago Santos. So that's going to be a good fight. I mean, Jan for the first time in a very long time will be the favorite.
Will he though?
I would assume so. It's probably going to be pretty close, but I'd assume so.
I was about to say it could be dead. I would put it at probably a 110, maybe a 120 each way, or like a 110, 120 kind of.
If it's over 200, I'll be either way. I'll be surprised.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Glover can catch anybody. So yeah, and Israel Adesanya, and you know what? He lost the fight. He's probably going to be better because of it. He found there's a hole in his game. He's going to work on that. And whatever else was the problem, and he'll go back down to 85 and fights. What the thing is, whoever wins that Whitaker Costa fight in a few weeks will probably be the number one contender. I don't know. I think also is it Cannonier and Till are fighting?
Yes,
that might be a 4-man race because this is just fought. So whoever wins those two fights may fight each other again, and then maybe the winner fights Izzy maybe at the end of the year. Maybe we'll see.
What's happen?
That would make sense. I mean, I know he's not super excited to fight someone he's already fought. However, that Robert Whitaker fight was really good. He knocked Whitaker out, but Whitaker's been looking awesome, and especially if he beats Costa. Yeah. I know he says he wants to. Adesanya says he wants to fight Darren Till, but Darren Till probably has to beat Cannonier and maybe one more person first. So we'll see. Or then again, if he beats Cannonier, the UFC can give him a title shot. And it's not. I mean, it makes sense.
I agree with you, man. And right now it's fun also when you mention guys like Glover Teixeira, who is the number one contender.
He made weight Friday too.
Yeah, he did. And I'm glad to see that, especially on, being able to, I like the fact that UFC and like combat sports always does have that alternate side to it where it could be, hey, who knows what can happen? Let's see what plays out.
They do it a lot before COVID because it makes more sense with COVID now because you never know.
The UFC never really did that.
I didn't think they did.
Bellator and Strikeforce would have alternates that they would do, or even full fights. I remember what was it, the first Madison Square Garden card for Bellator. One of the Gracies was a filler fight. And he wound up winning that fight. But it was the Madison Square Garden card. They had like a fill-in fight. And that's actually what they called it. I'm like, holy shit, this is like boxing. We can actually like see a fill-in fight. This is dope.
Pre-Zuffa, like tournaments, UFC had alternate fights. They started doing making the alternates fight each other. After the third one with that guy's name I can't remember, fought one fight and won the tournament.
Chemo? It wasn't Chemo.
No, it wasn't Chemo. I can't remember the guy's name. But he only had to fight one fight. So after that, they made all the alternates fight each other. At least, so you have to at least beat somebody before you can be put in as an alternate. Anyway, what else was I going to say? I don't remember. I forget. Of course I do. I always forget.
You son of a bitch.
Was it about alternates? Something about alternates? Nah, it doesn't matter.
Steak.
I think I said what I was. I was gonna say. So,
let's move on because this will be a short thing to talk about. And we both had the same idea, by the way, on what is next for this champion.
Well, I was kidding.
No, I'm at this point. There's nothing more to go to do but go into the men's division and sweep a lot of 135ers on the ground and beat the shit out of her or them like she can. Because I believe Amanda Nunes can do that, especially with how slick she fucked up Megan Anderson.
Right.
We thought that
go ahead.
What?
I was going to say she got that fantastic armbar.
It was all so pretty when she had full-on head triangle or leg triangle around the neck and then just pulls back like like Megan Anderson's eyes scared me. Yeah. She looked like she was in so much fucking pain. It was bad, man.
And that's a long arm to armbar when you're shorter than someone. You got to kind of find the point. What's the fulcrum, like a fulcrum point, or whatever. And it's a bit harder when it's someone that much longer than you. But she did great. She looked awesome because she's the best. She's the best there's ever been.
Yep.
Ever will be. I don't know until someone proves us wrong. Right? Right now she's awesome. And 45, we talked about it before. There's no one there for her. There's no one there.
Nope.
Only
they should give her just a 55 belt and try and find some broad that's crazy enough to go to 155.
I mean, they may just keep the division because they wanted to fight as much as possible. I don't know. I mean, 35, there's more options. Holly Holm and Jessica Pena are fighting. The winner of that will probably fight for 35 belt against Amanda if she's still going to go down and do that. So at 35, there's fights. Excuse me, kind of. But well, I mean, she hasn't fought Pena before. She beat Holly, and Holly's really tough. So. That's a good fight again. I think she beat Holly again, but Holly's very tough. You know, she looked great in the last fight against Aldana. Was that right? And yeah, but okay. Yeah, I said jokingly. The thing is, this is the thing. Number one, I don't want to see a male fighter hit a woman fight. I just, if it gets bad, it's just going to be impossible to watch.
At 135 pounds. And 145 pounds.
And who else? And who would do it?
There would be some savage.
Yeah, there would be not UFC fighters, but here's the thing: like, how many dudes could she beat up? Because she beats up some dudes, so she could beat us up. You and me, she beat us up. Okay, so she can beat guys who are a little tougher than us, probably. Well, how much? But I mean, she's really skilled. She's a lot of skill, and she cracks. So the thing is, they'd have to like handpick. This is like when what's his name? Oh geez, who's the guy who owned the Dodgers back in the day? Way back in the day.
I don't know that.
No. It was. I would say Rooney, but it wasn't Rooney. It was Butch. But I'm gonna drive me nuts.
But
you know this. I know you know. You know this.
Yeah, it's bothering me now that you said his fucking name. That's why I'm like, no. Why are you doing this?
Brooklyn Dodgers owner. Google's gonna tell me.
According to some information I found on Wikipedia.
What?
And honestly, I'm gonna tell you something right now. I'm looking at the top 5 on according.
Is it Walter O'Malley? Is that who I'm thinking of?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know baseball player or baseball owners outside of the Nuttings and the Dolans. Just because I know there's a Japanese group that owns like stake in the Marlins or the Mariners. There's already 2 names that kind of strike me at 135 that Amanda Nunes could fight like dude wise. One we're going to talk about in a minute. And
what I was just going to say to finish that quick was just when the Dodgers picked Jackie Robertson. They picked the right person. They didn't just pick the best player. He was a great player, But there's probably better players. They had to pick the right person, right, to be the first African American in Major League Baseball at the time. They would have to pick the right fight, the right person to fight Amanda Nunes. I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, the UFC is not going to do it. It'd be a sideshow thing. It'd be ridiculous. So it's not going to happen. But I don't know who else. She's not going to fight anybody. And the thing
I mean, I could see her
probably could beat up dudes. But what if it got bad? That's the thing. What if it got bad? Now she beat the hell out of the dude. Awesome. So I think the only way to do it is for her to fight someone who's not really that good.
Well, I mean, she could. The way Marlon Moraes has been lately, could happen.
The guy that Elliot.
Also, I think Frankie Edgar with his head trauma. I think Frankie Edgar with his head trauma.
You're thinking monsters, dude. These are all terrible ideas.
Yeah,
if it was a UFC fighter, it'd be whoever at the very bottom of the barrel is.
A dream fight right now in the 145 men's division for Amanda Nunes. Zabit.
Zabit would beat her. It would be terrible to watch.
Well, he probably beats his wife anyway, so what's going on with that?
Why do you say that? How do you know? Speaking of that, we're going to talk about something like that later.
Oh, are we?
Yeah. Okay. Tim Elliott fight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we are going to talk about that because of...
let's not bury the lead. Let's go do it now, and we'll come back to the...
All right, let me pull it over here. All right. Come on. Come on! Work for me, baby.
What was the name of the guy who fought? I can't remember. Espinoza.
Yeah, Espinoza.
All right, this was Tim Elliott using his superior wrestling to smother the dude. Smothered the dude, beat him up on the ground. Good job, Tim Elliott. It's good. He's a tough dude. He's won like a couple in a row now. He's going to get a tough guy. Now, he's probably going to get another guy inside the top 15 because he's there. He's like 12 or 11. He'll probably get like a top 10 guy. It wasn't his most exciting fight ever, but I still love watching Tim Elliott fight. More often than not, his fights are exciting. But as he was in the third round, second round, he was ground and pounding on Espinoza, and he says to him, and you can pick it up. They blocked it. They beeped it out of ESPN Plus. Apparently on ESPN you could hear it, and I saw a video of what it said. Said, I heard you choke. This is Elliott saying Espinoza. I heard you choked out a woman in 2018. Are you a woman beater? Bam, bam, bam. Espinoza, you don't know the whole story. Bam, bam. Elliott, I know enough. Bam, bam, bam. And then the bell rings. So yeah, that was that. That's what he was doing.
Yeah, because I remember when the audio completely cut out ring-wise, but the mics were on. And Tim, or all of a sudden you just hear him go, that was scary. Rogan say that was scary.
Yeah.
Just because, like, it's, and I will say this: Espinoza got one good shot in through that entire fight, and Tim Elliott, being the savage that he is, decided to just basically turn his own blood against someone. Which was frightening. If you saw him just rubbing what happened was Espinoza pushes off from guard and then comes in with like a 6-12 elbow almost, and it was just boom and just cuts the top of Tim Elliott's head. So what does Tim Elliott do? Realizes he's bleeding and just shoves that wound right in his face, and I was horrified while watching that because just the blood coming down was great. It was definitely a not so fresh looking Matt at the end of the day, but it was fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie.
I'd watch Tim Elliott fight Amanda Nunes.
Yes,
I think that's a good that's a good stylistic matchup. Number one, it's not going to happen. However, but I think he's a wrestler and he doesn't really knock people out, so he's probably going to try to fight the way he always fights. So yeah, probably make it a grappling match. And he's a little smaller too. So when she's actually probably bigger than he is. But I mean that they did it at 135, whatever. I'd watch that fight. I don't know. Tim Elliott's the man, but he just talked some shit about a guy choking at a woman. So he's probably not signing out to choke at a woman, although he probably spars with his fiance all the time, whose name escapes me, but she's also in the UFC.
Well, hopefully he doesn't treat her like our boy. What the fuck? Can't remember. Why can't I remember douchebag's name? No, smaller than Greg Hardy. Mike Perry, Platinum Mike Perry. where he knocked his own fucking like girlfriend out and fucking sparring and shit. Which is still fucked up, but yeah.
There's talking about people who are in relationships together who are both in the UFC. There's a cool one coming up. I think I don't know if it's next week or maybe the following week, the Holland Brunson card maybe. But Cheyenne Buys and JP Buys are both making their UFC debuts. They're married, so that's cool.
That's a sweet thing.
Yeah, it's really interesting too, right? How that goes, where they're both preparing at the same time for the biggest fights in their careers at the same time. That's interesting, man. You know, that'd be really cool to get to talk to him about that. I'm sure someone else will, if we don't have to. That's one other thing, man. Like Dustin Poirier was talking crap, not about some of the interviews he has to do. Like everyone asks him the same questions. How was camp? Blah, blah, blah. Let's not be those guys, Ray.
I agree.
I mean,
I want to get to know the people.
We have those questions, but like other people are going to ask those questions. So we can find those answers anywhere.
Yeah.
Right. So let's ask them other stuff. I don't know what. We'll figure it out.
Biggest bitch you've ever fought.
Biggest bitch.
That's always a good one.
I'd love to ask Dustin Poirier that.
I think he would give a great fucking answer. I think he would be one of those guys where he'd be like, this dude that I fought in Louisiana back in like 2005. He was a piece of garbage.
The next guy we have on answer to that question is going to be the libs.
Hillary Clinton.
Maybe. I don't know. I agree. I hope he goes on tangents.
Me too. I have some questions for him.
There's lots of hints, but
definitely going to be fun.
When it comes out, it will come out.
Let's talk about the albatross of the night, the pink elephant in the room. If you didn't watch UFC 259, where the fuck were you, and why weren't you? You sons of bitches. Money. Fuck them. You can find somebody for 10. You can give somebody $10 and go to their house. Be a man. Pay for it. That's what I try and do. But Aljamain Sterling and Petr Yan. I believe it was what round? Fourth round.
Let me check.
Yeah, it was fourth round. Ended in a DQ. I do have some pictures that I kind of also want to show, of quotes and stuff like that. Okay. Obviously, Petr Yan the next day apologized and hoped that Aljo would have speedy recovery and they can run it back again. And I have, and to me, I want to get your opinion on this just because I was sitting there after this whole thing. Wishing this wouldn't happen, but apparently they just decided fuck it to do this. The post-fight interview didn't need to happen. That just didn't need to happen right off the bat.
Right. Obviously, the guy suffered a horrific concussion. I sent you that video. The doctor I talk about on here all the time, Brian Struder.
Yeah,
he did a cool video. And basically, did you watch it or not?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. Because the reaction you sent me, I'm like, oh, he's not reading it. I mean, excuse me, he's not watching it because you just read the title.
Yeah, I was in the car.
Yeah, so. Okay. It was just point is, obviously, if anyone thought who's faking it is ridiculous, right?
Yeah,
it's concussion, it's bad, and yeah, they didn't need to do the interview. That was kind of in poor taste. It was weird, and it's weird to ask him to do that. It was strange, and then they were telling Joe Rogan in his ear, wrap it up so we can kick him to the hospital. They should have just skipped it.
Man. Yeah, I agree.
However, I mean, if he did, I mean, we knew he was going to be all right when he could speak. That doesn't mean he didn't have a concussion. I mean, he obviously does.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, they should have just kind of let that one go. Anyway.
And then, but during that interview, this was Aljo basically saying, I didn't want to win this fight the way, doing all this, and that they're going to go back. Because in the fourth round, it was starting to become more of an even fight.
One judge had it for Sterling. I did not, but
no,
it was close.
I did not.
If Aljamain would have won those last two rounds, I think he would have won the fight. So it was getting close, and it was a really good fight to that point.
Yeah, I fully agree with you, man. Like it was a disappointment that it happened. I don't know I got kind of angry because the fight after this. Or the fight before this had a certain guy we just brought up on the show in the corner of one of the fighters. And I heard his name be out there, and I just went, fuck him, fuck his bullshit. Like I just immediately knee jerk it.
All right, you got angry about Habib, just
like the LFA with Pat Miletich. I knee jerk angered so fast. And to me, it was like one of those things where the miscommunication of I don't know who like is to blame for this miscommunication on this knee, because it's just like what the fuck, dude.
I don't speak Russian, obviously. So Peter Yan says that's not what they said. I don't know, but and I'm gonna say, and if they did, I think maybe they didn't mean hit him in the head. I think they meant hit him in the body or something, right? Because his knee was clearly down. Mark Smith, the referee, poor Mark Smith, man. This if you saw him on Joe Rogan's podcast recently, he's a really cool guy. He's a good referee. Joe Rogan even said he's like the one guy no one ever complains about. It's funny. This was his first title fight, because he said on Rogan that he hasn't had one yet in the UFC. So he finally gets one. I was excited for him. And he gets this.
Yeah.
This crazy fight. And the thing is, he said Tion, his knee is down. And then right after he said that, crack. Right? So the right decision was obviously, if the fight stopped, it's a DQ. And it was correct. He did the right decision. Man, the refs have a ton of power there.
Yeah.
Well, they do all the time in the fight anyway. They can stop it no matter what. Anyway, not saying that they don't do the right thing, but I mean they do. They try their best. But yeah, it's all on the ref. And he did the right thing, in my opinion. The only thing I didn't like is he took it was pretty obvious that Aljamain was not going to be able to fight. And if he did stand up and try to fight, it wasn't right. Shouldn't have been. You shouldn't have let him do it.
No.
It's weird. Like if he would have got knocked out, hit like that legally, they would have stopped the fight. However, because it was illegal, you're going to let him recover from it. If safety was first, you wouldn't even give him a shot. You'd be like, dude, you're concussed. You're bad. You're basically out. We're not going to let you wait 15 minutes and then stand up and fight again for your own health. So they did the right thing of not letting him continue. It was weird that they even waited that long, but it's fine because
I honestly think
it's a big spot for Mark Smith. I mean, that has to be tough, super tough, right?
Yeah.
But he eventually made the right decision. Took a minute, but he made the right one eventually. And yeah, that happened that way. But so we have a new champion. I know, of course, it's not the way he wanted to do it. And okay, a lot of people, I saw people on Facebook today. I'm assuming most of them are trolls. But I was watching the fight with my brother. He came over to watch the fight, and he told me he thought Sterling was faking it. I'm like, why would you ever? And all these people saying that, all the fighters saying it. Number one, like Cejudo and Dillashaw. Here's a question.
We'll get to Henry here in a second.
Well, my question is, with those guys, would you do that?
No.
Is there any party that you would fake that? No. So why do you think someone who dedicates his life to the sport the same way you do would do that? Do you actually think that? You're just trolling? I think you're just trolling, and that's fine. But there's no possible.
Is it really though? I mean, there's a time to troll. Like I don't
like it. I don't like it, but it happens, and I understand that they have to sell fights and stuff or whatever. That's one way to do it, whatever. And Dillashaw saying, "Hey, I'm not the only one who's a cheater now." To Jan, there's a bit of a difference there, man. They didn't take any of his titles away. They didn't take any of his titles away, right? Jan lost his title, and I think they already said they're going to run it back right away. But I'm like, okay, but like. It wasn't an accident, right? He threw an intentional illegal knee. I'm like, Corey Sandhagen is sitting there waiting like, dude, it's his fault. He screwed up, man. He screwed up. It wasn't an oops. It was a big fuck up, right? Yeah. He screwed up. So that's why he got a DQ. That's like John Jones, one loss. He did something illegal. Therefore, he got his loss. So Peter Yan got his loss. Does he deserve a rematch right away? I mean, he's going to get it. And that's fine because he's a good champion. It's going to be a good fight, especially because Aldo was turning the tide a bit and was figuring out how to fight him. Now it's going to be a completely different fight, right? At least you think so.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to watch it again. It's great. I feel bad for Sandhagen for that reason.
Well,
him and Dillashaw, I think they're already talking before the fight. They were talking about that fight happening anyway. So Sandhagen Dillashaw is probably for sure is going to happen now.
Oh, and I think I got Sandhagen in that fight, to be honest.
Dude, I hope he knocks him the fuck out. I hope he knocks him out worse than Edgar. I like Frankie Edgar. I don't like Casey Dillashaw.
With this controversy comes people, as you said, trolling or trying to get some recognition. And look who decided to pop his little head out of the fucking hole. This is Henry Cejudo, an actual quote. I would personally like to line up both Peter Yan and Aljamain Sterling. Silver at the same time, or Silver. Who the fuck is Silver? At the same time, stay tuned. Triple C is coming back. So whoever, if they run this thing back, probably Henry Cejudo is going to come back for the 135 title, taking away from Corey Sandhagen, and also TJ Dillashaw.
Oh,
But
so rough. TJ, especially if Sandhagen beats Dillashaw, he's done so much. But at the same time, you're talking about the triple champ, man.
Well,
and everyone assumed that he was going to come back eventually. Henry, every took a year or two off, he's going to come back. So I'm assuming he will fight again in the UFC. Yeah, that's tough, man. That's really tough. I mean, usually he would deserve, but he did retire. So if you say don't hate you, you got to fight your way to him. I mean, we have guys waiting in line, bro. So what are you gonna do? Now 125 would probably be a little bit easier for him to do. That'd be interesting, man. I would love to see him and Cody fight.
Me too. That would be a dope fight, especially with both two high-class wrestlers like Cody and Cejudo going at it.
That's the thing. Cody hasn't been out wrestled by anyone before. He was a state champion in Ohio, which I think people all around the world know, the country, know that if you win a state championship in Ohio, you're a good wrestler. Like, we're a good wrestling state. Pennsylvania, great wrestling states. I had a cousin who won a state championship in Pennsylvania.
Did you?
Back in the day. Yeah, he won as a freshman, I think, he won a state championship. Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, but I think Henry Cejudo is an Olympic champion, so he's a better wrestler than Cody. I don't know if Cody, however, just because Cody did not wrestle with the Olympians doesn't mean he isn't very, very good. So
he wrestles with Olympians in the gym, though. No,
probably. Oh, I mean, what is Lance Palmer an Olympian? He was a champion, I think at Ohio State. Anyway, there is as an amateur, there's a guy from State College who wrestled on the Penn State wrestling team. His name was Tyler Saltzman, and Cody fought him. And this guy, especially as an amateur, was just taking everybody down, all the fights, and he couldn't take Cody down. This guy was on the Penn State wrestling team. I don't know how many wins he racked up there, but I mean, that's one of the premier, one of the top 3 premier wrestling schools in the country. And Sanderson is the coach there. Right?
Okay.
So, that's a monster program. So they only have monsters there. So, I remember that fight. It's probably still online somewhere. Just a really great wrestler, wrestling first and not being able to take down Cody. So the point is, he's a good wrestler.
I like it. I like it a lot. Let's move on to a fight where I became a fan of this guy, but I did not like his corner. Still not a fan of what he's named after, but that's just me. Ladies and gentlemen, none other.
Ray, you really need to stop this, Ray.
No, I won't, because here's the thing. Here's my thing. I am an atheist. I am not a person who just shits on the Muslim religion. I shit on Catholics, Christians, everyone, because of the fact that I find religion dumb.
You have to say it like that every time, though.
Well, it should be implied. I've said it how many times that I'm an atheist on this show?
Yeah, but
few times.
We pretend like everyone's watched all our episodes. The only people who have seen all of our episodes is us.
Okay, that's fine, but you can go back and see me saying that shit, and I will defend it until the day I die.
Yeah, but I mean, look, all kinds of stuff. People get canceled for shit, and then they bring back receipts, and you have receipts for that. But at the same time, it doesn't matter. It never matters.
Don't give in to the mob. Don't give in to the mob. That's all I have to say. Fuck them. I've told white, middle-class Christians that I'm anti-religion, and they look at me like I have fucking snakes coming out of my ears. Guess what? I grew up in that shit. Never really felt that it was a thing I needed in my life. And it applies to all religion. So it's never, and by the way, Islam himself is probably a Muslim man, and he is whiter than I am. So this whole Muslims are a race thing is bullshit. I will never say they're a race. It's a religion based on a different thing than Christianity and Catholicism.
You hate Dave Chappelle? You crazy?
I don't hate Dave Chappelle. I don't hate him, but I don't like the extremists like Habib and guys like
yeah, okay. Habib's out here bombing buildings. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, but he is one of those guys where if you remember, he got all pissy after the Conor fight, saying no more talking about religion, no more talking
That's
about
not an
family.
Extremist, man. When they say extremist,
That's
when you're talking about if you're talking Muslim extremists, those are people who are radicalized and do terrorist attacks.
To me, they're one and the same because
you need to think of a different word for it, man.
Their religion.
Because you call someone extremist, you're calling somebody like a violent terrorist, man. You could
not really.
You can say he's hardcore. That makes more sense.
And hardcore Muslims.
Okay, that's better because when you say extremists, you just think the monsters who blow things up. I know what you're saying, but I'm saying your vocab here needs to change on it, man.
To me, hardcore is fine. No, I will not, because Christian extremists are the ones that get all pissy and then fucking burn crosses in front of people's yards.
Also, not cool.
No, not at all. That's why I don't like religion, sir. But again, I became a fan.
I mean,
of
are you saying
Islam.
That every religious person on earth is like that? Most of them aren't.
I understand that. I understand that not everybody is like that, but at the same time, the tenets of a lot of religions, including and also the history.
Dude, there's crazy people in every single group of anything, man. You talk about, I don't know. You can say, I'm in a bowling league, right? And like one of the guys in my bowling league beats the crap out of his wife every Wednesday.
That guy's a piece of shit.
That doesn't mean everybody in the bowling league does. It means this guy in the bowling league happens to be a monster.
Yeah,
it has nothing to do with bowling. It has nothing to do with bowling. He's just a monster. And maybe he says he does it because he had a bad bowl. He blames it on the bowling, but it's not really because of the bowling.
No, it's because his dad touched him when he was 5. That's usually what happens.
Of course. So let's put the hate where we need to, on the pedos. There we go.
Agreed.
Okay.
Fucking agreed, Catholics.
All right, we were talking about Islam Makawadov, whatever his name is.
Bless you. I became a fan of Islam. Not the religion, the man. Because of the fact that this guy impressed the shit out of me. He was doing way more than one of his corner men has ever done in any of his fights, besides bore the shit out of me. Way more active, way more cooler. And Drew Dober was basically just a grappling doll for 3 rounds. And I'm a fan of Islam now because not the religion, the person, because of the idea that this guy is a fantastic wrestler. I can't put over his wrestling skill more.
Right. That's exactly what I said before this fight, if you don't remember.
Yeah.
Raymond. Yeah. I said if he takes Drew Dober down, Drew Dober has no shot. And he ended up, he did get a submission in the 3rd round, that arm triangle. Very nice. And he's, he was submitting a just exhausted Drew Dober. But yeah, he looked great. I told you, he kind of has that Habib style. And he looked great. He looked fantastic. I mean, he's out grapple guys like Davi Ramos, who's a BJJ champion, an amazing fighter. Beat John Gunther in the UFC, and he outgrappled him. So, just said if he took him down, he didn't have a shot. But I didn't know. I don't think I called submission. I didn't think I called decision. But yeah, good job, man.
Yeah,
He's
you
awesome.
Called decision on that fight.
He's awesome, and I can't wait for. He was going to get a real tough guy next for sure, like top 10. And there's killers up there. I don't know. I mean, there's a bunch of maybe DeSantos or Paul Felder, or like one of those guys. I mean, Paul Felder was not calling him. Was definitely. Paul Felder was not calling him out when he was doing the post-fight show. I'll tell you that much. He was saying no one wants to fight this guy, right? They even mentioned Paul, and he's just like, no one wants to fight this guy. He takes the fight, but man, that's a tough. I don't think Paul Felder wins that fight. No, he doesn't, because he got out-wrestled by DeSantos.
Yeah.
I think DeSantos and Islam makes more sense, because I don't think Paul Felder's a shot at beating him, to be honest with you.
That would be a huge test for RDA going against Islam, because it's just... like you just said, high level grappling, and
also Dariush needs an opponent. Tony Ferguson needs an opponent. Dan Hooker needs an opponent. Any of those guys.
I think Tony's done, but that's just me.
He's gonna fight somebody. There's no way. You think? What do you mean done? You think he's not gonna fight again? It's impossible. He's gonna fight again.
I mean, if he does,
they're gonna have to cut that. They're gonna have to cut that guy. He's one of those guys that you're gonna have to tell him no for him to stop fighting.
This is true. I could see TF going to the B to the R, or
forgot to talk about this. I kind of forgot how old Jan Blachowicz is. He's 38. I didn't realize he was that old.
He's an older guy, and we've talked about that in heavier weights. I mean, they have a lot more longevity,
and he got a younger. Like, he's going to be probably, he's one of the top fighters in the UFC. Will be for a long time, and Jan got the best of him this time. Good for Jan. It's great. I don't remember seeing anyone with that kind of resurgence in the UFC. He was 2-4. He got beat by Patrick Cummings. Didn't you see him get beat by Patrick Cummings in Buffalo?
He wasn't was he on the Buffalo card?
Let me check.
No, I'm checking myself. Let's look this up. UFC 210. If I saw Jan Blachowicz, I swear to God, I'm so happy.
Yeah, he got beat on majority decision by Patrick Cummings.
Oh my God. How did I forget? We saw Jan Blachowicz. I'm gonna have to text my buddy that. I totally spaced on that.
Really? The biggest Jan Blachowicz fan I know saw him fight live and didn't remember. You're a terrible fan.
Here's the thing about we'll talk, and for if we have like a low like we did again, I do want to do look backs. We've tried with Yama twice, but I want to do like fights that I have been to, and even you can pick a lot of like the lower level shows that you've gone to with like Andrew Law, all those kind of things.
Man, I'm excited to go to some fights again someday, man. I really want to. And hopefully someday we can go to some fights together. We can get Harrison to come with us to film us, talking to people and all kinds of stuff. Or even if we go to UFC fights, we won't be able to get interviews and stuff, but we can do stuff.
But here's the thing about that trip or when we were at UFC 210. I want to say, who were the early prelims? We had Gregor Gillespie versus Andrew Holbrook, Josh Emmett versus Desmond Green, who was friends with, I believe Desmond Green was friends with the late Brody Lee. That's how I met Brody Lee, the AEW wrestler. Because it was a black dude that he was rooting for.
Gregor Gillespie has a fight coming up. I forget who he's fighting. But if he wins, him and Islam would be another good fight too. Those are power wrestlers.
Yes,
that's good.
That would be a fantastic fight.
Right. That's real good.
But the reason I don't remember that night is when you go to an event like a UFC. What is the one thing you don't show when you're at a UFC show and ready to party?
What you don't show?
What you don't show?
Restraint?
Exactly. Thank you. You don't show restraint. I was smoking underneath the stairs of the fucking HSBC arena.
Right.
I was a savage that weekend.
Thing is, when I go to my first one, I'm probably not going to drink until I get into the arena.
That's what we do.
But afterwards, whatever, man. Especially if it's in Vegas or some shit. Hell yeah. Listen, I'm really excited. Hopefully sometime next year, if not the end of this year, and get to one. Like I will, like I said, I want a bro trip somewhere this year. I will go do a fight this year if I can, or next year. I will, if I have to go. Hopefully they'll have one in the state or somewhere drivable. It doesn't have to be drivable same day down and back. I can stay, but if not, I can fly somewhere if I have to.
Well, hopefully if Chicago opens up, I'd like to go see them in Chicago because that's only a 6-hour drive from me. My buddy went to the Stipe Cormier one in Chicago. He was at the U.S. Airlines Arena.
Where was the second one? Dallas?
Yes.
Or Vegas?
Second one was Dallas. Okay. Third one was Vegas.
Okay.
Because we were doing the podcast last year for the Stipe fight.
Okay.
No, I want to go to a UFC event again. If I can go to Las Vegas and be in the team, because that's my goal. I've been to 2 UFCs, one in my hometown, and which I never thought would happen. I never thought they'd ever come to Cleveland. Like you never think that they're gonna like come to your arena, and then all of a sudden they're here, and you're like, shit. Oh my god.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say OS, but they're going to want to come. I mean, one of the first cards that got canceled last year was the Columbus card.
Yeah.
So hopefully they come back. They get one scheduled in Columbus maybe next year.
The Chicago guy that went to see that, he actually had tickets to go see the UFC in Columbus before the shutdown happened.
You know what's crazy? I wasn't going to go to that fight.
Oh, he was pissed.
I wasn't going to go to that fight. Excuse me. And looking back, I'm like, you're crazy. Why were you not going to go to that fight? Excuse me, keep burping. I was going to go because my buddy Alan in Columbus wasn't going to be around then. So I'm like, who am I going to go with? But you know what? Especially now, I'm like, geez, yeah, he's fighting Columbus. Especially Cody Garbrandt's fighting, man. I'm probably going to know half the people there anyway.
Yeah. And they're opening. I mean, we've had the Ohio Combat League. What?
Did you imagine if he had that Sunset knockout in Columbus? It would have been nuts. It would have been
that would have been sexy.
When Stipe won the championship. It would have been kind of the same thing.
Well, that was, to me, and I've been in a lot of loud crowds for because my mom worked for a hockey team here, so it was all I was always in a loud arena most of my life.
Well, they didn't sell out though, did they?
The Lumberjacks?
Yeah.
Yeah, there were some sellouts. They had some.
They sell out the Gund Arena.
Yeah,
that's cool.
They used to draw 1,000 at the height. It was like 15,000 people would come to Lumberjacks games.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, but I have never experienced a crowd just that boisterous in my life because I didn't want to go with alliteration and say loud. But Jesus Christ,
yeah,
I still have the ringing in my ears 7 years or 5 years later.
I think it's one of the, as far as domestic shows, it's like top 10 attendances. I think attendance for domestic because I was looking just how far down the list of UFC attendance were the American shows, and it was pretty far. It's pretty far.
It was like 19. I think 19.5 was the actual.
That's a lot. They don't do over 20 very often in the States. So,
and
one of the reasons is they don't go to places that hold more than that. I mean, I think Madison Square Garden was their biggest domestic crowd, and that's probably the biggest domestic arena. Someday, I hope they can go to AT&T in Dallas and have 100,000 people.
Oh, that would be so sexy. I actually want to go to WrestleMania next year too, because it's going to be in Dallas. Yeah.
They're already open, so they're already ready for it.
Yeah,
they're going to have crowds. Most likely. That seems like that's so many people though. Listen, when I go to Indians games this year, I'm a part of me likes the fact there's only going to be max 10,000 people there. Because I'm like, that's good. That's manageable. Parking's going to be easier. It's going to be the same game, but there's going to be people around, but not going to be super crowded. It's all right. But 100,000 people, holy crap, that's a lot.
Yeah, I've seen 80,000 at Rock on the Range. That was the most I had ever seen, and it was mind-boggling to see that amount of human beings and just bands rocking out like Godsmack and fucking Rob Zombie. Limp Bizkit, I think, had maybe 20,000 in the stadium for their performance, but they were the last band of the day, kind of, or last band of the whole thing.
When I went, they we didn't get the floor seats for the stadium. But what we were really close for the second stage. Most of the shows we got pretty.
You were
close
in the bleachers,
Seven Dust, and but the thing is, I like that because I'm I don't really want to be in.
No.
However, I was only 20 at the time. I could handle a little bit more, but I'm more of a bleacher guy right now.
Me too.
I mean, I'll stand for some, but yeah. When there's 50,000 people on the stadium and on the grass on the stadium, that's a bit too much for me.
When I go to pro wrestling shows, I'm always in the bleachers. I never want to get near when dudes are flying into the crowd and shit, because I'm it'll spill my fucking beer. I just I don't want my beer safety is more than the 6-year-old that just got a boot in the face from Killer Cross. I want to be over here now. Thank you. I'll drink over here and have some fun. But yeah, I'm more of a bleacher guy when I go to sporting events. I like that kind of stuff,
I remember the first day of Rockin' the Ranch, we started me and my Andrew Law and our buddy Ben White, the other guy who's works at 250, who's a judo black belt, and he cornered Hunter in his last fight. He runs the MMA program there. We started the first mosh pit. I remember we did it on purpose. It was during Red. Red was playing. They were the second band that played, and we started the first mosh pit. So
nice.
It happened. I was there. I witnessed it happen.
I got bowled over during a Taproot set at 2010.
Taproot. Taproot.
Or was it Non-Point? I can't remember one of those.
I like Non-Point less, but they probably are good live. I don't think I've seen them live.
Nonpoint's dope, man. Nonpoint's a lot of fun. They played Bullet with a Name on it, which is really the only song I wanted to like hear.
That and their cover of the Phil Collins song.
They didn't do that. They kind of hinted at it a few times, but they didn't do it.
Boo. Come on, man. Especially was it a festival?
Yeah, it was Rock on the Range.
Yeah. Dude, a lot of those people don't know you.
Yeah.
Give them something to sing along to.
They were in the Jägermeister small stage. Like if you're facing
you had
the main stage, it's to the right. Yeah. Them and Taproot were both on the Jägermeister stage. And Taproot was more fun because I got to crowd surf to Poem. I was like, yes, I get to do
it. Yeah, great tune.
It helps me to live.
In case of, okay, we're not going to do that again, but we basically did.
Paying rights fees for music is gay, so we will sing this way.
I don't think you know what gay means, but okay. Let's go to this.
Check my
which fight was it? Oh, this was a bummer. This fight.
Yep.
I think I did call Reiki by decision, but I wish it would, better decision than what we got.
Yeah, it was definitely. And I mean, the prelims themselves were hot as fuck.
They were.
There was a lot of good knockouts, a lot of good. I think we had a submission or two on the prelims before the pay-per-view started. And to be honest, yeah, this was kind of. I always quote Kevin Smith when he talks about. I forget what movie he's talking about, but it was like the girl just giving you a nice blowjob. And then, but right before you're about to like do your thing, she just pops it out and like just starts rubbing. Like it was such a letdown. You're like, no.
Was it one of his movies he's talking about?
He did this at I think it was Evening with Kevin Smith 2. He talked about it, or one of those like an Evening with Kevin Smith. He talks about some movie being disappointing and equating it to a bad blowjob.
You watch those early Evening with Kevin Smith things when he used to do those talks or whatever. And
one was in Kent.
Yeah, and the girl I dated went to it, and she asked him apparently a really weird question, which is kind of funny. I forget what it was. It was just I forget what it was. It was.
I'll have to watch it again.
It was a crazy fantasy question or something. It was kind of but what was I gonna say? You can tell, but you hear him speak now. Those kind of things with the stand up he does. He's calmed down a lot. He talks about it. He's like, I was so angry. It's like at those first few, he seemed like he was just angry, and
he was fat and miserable. Of course,
I was trying to learn from him. Like, just like I was so worried about so many things I didn't be worried about. I'm like, yeah, that's what I try to do.
Yeah,
because I do have anger issues when I get there, but that's why I try not to let a lot of things bother me, right? So,
well, I was actually going to ask you that. Do you think you're fused? Like I have found, especially after the stuff that happened when I was in 2018 to me, I feel like now I have a longer fuse for bullshit than I ever did. Like, I think it comes with age, really.
Right. Yeah, I think so too. It's harder for me to get to that certain point, but when I get there, it sucks because I feel it, and that's the manic depressed whatever. That's where it gets there. So that's what I try to avoid that whatsoever. And if it does happen, I just got to remember, like, dude, you're gonna be over it in like 30 seconds. Just fight through this 30 seconds, man. And it's easier said than done sometimes. I didn't realize I had a problem with it until a handful of years ago, 5 or 6, and then I realized I had a problem with it. I'm like, that sucks. Because the reason I had a problem with it is because something went bad. Because so that sucks. That I had to get there before I realized it. But I've went to therapy and whatnot and figured it out a little bit. So
that's why I see a therapist every week.
Yeah, I mean the thing is realizing you had a problem, and I didn't for a long time, and it's just unfortunate that I had to blow up before I figured it out.
Yeah, it's sad, man, because you get to a point where it's like, and like I said, I think honestly, when I hit 30 was when I kind of I don't know, at 31, there's still some people in my life that kind of frustrate me, but usually.
That's what I tell you all the time, man, not to worry about certain things.
Well, I mean,
I'll tell you off
air. I'll tell you off air.
People. Yeah, the thing is, if people are trying to piss you off, it's not too difficult for me. Sometimes I can do it usually. But sometimes you just gotta take off or guess. I don't know. You try not to worry about things you can't control, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to work on it, and that's my therapist and I were going to talk about it Thursday. So, because I have Thursday or Friday sessions usually with them, and now with my schedule,
Thursday. This will be the last time I get a chance. But shout out to my dude Cameron.
hey,
He's having some medical issues. He has a surgery coming up Thursday. So good
Speedy
vibes for
recovery,
him, whatever
Cameron.
you believe in. Yeah. He needed a ride, so I had to take him up Thursday up to Akron to get his surgery, and it's a big one. So I hope hope the best for him, man. Because
hell yeah, man,
you can do it, brother.
Speedy recovery, sir. All day, every day. You the man. But yeah, man, it's just I found as I've gotten older, it's just kind of been like, all right, I see who you are, and I'm not gonna.
Why are you calling me your mother? Because of the
that was not supposed to be read. That was not supposed to be read on Facebook.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't understand what was going on.
No, yeah, me and her have always had a weird thing, but I'll talk to you about.
Oh, that's what you're. I'm sorry.
I didn't
realize. You know what, Matt? You should have just worded it that way.
Yeah.
Or just waited to talk to it later. You've told me that before, though. It's okay.
It's okay.
I gotcha.
But
man. What are we going to? The prelims? Prelims are great. Oh, yeah. This one we got to talk about, right? Because you had
Okay.
You had an issue with this one.
I absolutely did.
I didn't rewatch it. I meant to rewatch it, but I forgot to rewatch it.
I didn't rewatch it either. And before we do this, we're talking about Dominic Cruz and Casey Kenny. And since I've got memes out the ass today, if you all remember, Keith Peterson was kind of a hotly contested portion of this fight because people wanted him to be refereeing this. Keith Peterson himself
wasn't even on the
referee this.
He did he say that?
No, but I would want him to be able to say that. But what I love, sometimes the internet wins when it comes to making memes, and I wanted this to be what would happen.
Oh man, if you're listening to the audio, what we got, put it back up so I can describe it. What we got here is we have The Shining, right? And the woman, The Shining, superimposed on her body is Dominic Cruz's face. Keith Peterson with a cigarette in his mouth is Jack Nicholson, and the axe going through is a 40 of Old English.
Old English 800. Somebody's got money, man. If you can afford an Old English 800, you're fucking gold, dude. I saw this. I think I saw this Saturday after we had gone after we had done our podcast, and I was like, oh, I have to show that after the fights. That's too sexy not to be put up on our thing, which you can. Yeah. And if you're listening to this podcast, always remember that we do this 2 times a week. We're actually going to be doing a 3rd episode this week. That'll be uploaded the minute it's done. Like, I'm going to convert it, put it up, and we'll have it there for you. A special bonus episode of the Bro Plata that we're going to be doing over Zoom. But yeah, man, I love the internet. The internet wins every time. Like, you can't beat them. They're like the dealer in blackjack. You think you beat them, but next what's coming up is a fucking king and an ace right up their fucking alley, and you're getting like a 9 and a 3, and you can't do shit with it. Like, you're just like, no, why? And then you're like, oh yeah, internet, you can take my money. You can just take my money because it's so good.
Yeah, but the thing is, man, you're going for the whole population, right? Worth of people. Everyone has access to the internet, right? Whoever has the ability to make those memes and create memes and creative, someone's gonna have the best one, right? Mm-hmm. So there you go. I'm not a mean guy, man. I've had ideas, but I'm like, I never really felt like trying to go into Photoshop and making them.
I've created a few. Angry Cat and the white girl that was that big meme. What was it in 2019 or 2020 where the girl's you fucking bitch, that kind of thing. I made one for a wrestling, but a few wrestling ones. I think an MMA one, but I made a few of that. I took I made my own little meme out of it and didn't really go anywhere. But
I had an idea for one recently when tennis was happening. The Australian Open. What's the one to the girl, the guy, and the guy looking at a different girl? That one?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah. I was going to do that with baseball umpires and Hawkeye Live, which is we talked about that before. That's the whole computer in and out system, judging system they're using in tennis now because of COVID. And we talked about it before. I hope that's not permanent because that's a lot of jobs. There's a lot of referees. There's like, I forget how many, like 7, I think, on a court at once on the big events. So I don't want those people who have worked so hard to get those big tournaments to no longer get them anymore. So
yeah, that's going to be once they start installing cameras for like lines and everything in hockey, I think they're going to not have linesmen. It's going to be like one referee.
They're going to have a sky cam in the NFL now that makes automatic decisions.
Oh boy,
I heard that. Yeah. Listen. The thing is, it's okay. It's okay. I just don't want it to touch home plate of baseball. It's going to eventually, and it bums me out because I don't want it. I really, really don't want it to happen.
Automation is real, son.
Yeah, no, I'm warm. I warmed up eventually to the expanded replay in baseball with safe and out calls. However, there's some of it I hate. I hate when you guys stealing a base and his finger is off the bag a millisecond. That was not what it was designed for, right? That wasn't what it was designed for. But now that's what they're looking at. They go for it's just a small fraction of a second. You see, just for a second, his finger was off, and then it's not what it was designed for. That bums me out. But some safe and outs are okay.
Their advantage. People are going to use it.
They're doing it.
I know they're
doing it. They're doing it. Yes, I don't like. I think they need to figure out a way to make it not that. I have some ideas. We'll talk about another time. But anyway,
I like it.
But what I think is shown is how hard umpiring is. And I didn't realize that. Like, you're going to see how many the best in the world miss stuff because of how damn close it is. And they have 4 umpires, so they have great angles, the best angles they can have, and just how hard it is. So that's what I like about it, is that you're seeing how damn hard it is to do it.
Yeah.
You just do your best, man. I wouldn't mind if one of the things I've talked about this before, if I was going to start getting any kind of license, it would just be for Little League, because I would like to do big Little League tournaments. Like Little League World Series would be really fun for me. That's not out of the question. So
first, you want to go to high school football games.
Right.
Next thing you want to know, you're going to be at the Little League World. Who is the guy that you mentioned and I fucked with you? That was in the Little League World Series.
Todd Frazier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like fucking with you. Like
we went there for like it was right before I was in started 8th grade, where our family went to Williamsport for a few days, just like it's the summer vacation we went. And that was the year Danny Almonte was there, like the 14-year-old.
Oh God,
yeah. Danny Almonte.
Oh,
that was a lot of fun. Actually, also George W. Bush threw at the first pitch in a championship game, so I wasn't too far from him. That was pretty neat.
That's cool.
And that was like 2 weeks before 9/11.
Before he sat there reading the book.
Yeah.
Oh, bad optic. Bad optic.
Well, he's reading to kids. It wasn't a bad optic. He's reading to kids.
The world was burning at that point.
Well, the
world was burning.
He didn't finish the book, did he? I don't think so.
He did. My Pet Goat.
Okay.
Yep. It was like I think it's like a 15-page book. But knowing George Bush, he was probably reading it at a 6th grade level, so it took him a while. But I mean,
and you know what, man? I over the years I've warmed up to that guy. now that he's no longer a president, right? You're like, oh man, this guy used to do like coke and drink all the time, and he owned the Texas Rangers. Like, yeah, that's cool. Then there's that time in the middle there, he's the leader of the free world, and yeah, didn't do some not great things there. But now he paints, which is interesting.
But let's talk about this fight.
I
honestly thought it was Casey Kenny's fight. A split decision would have definitely been.
It was a split decision.
Well, I'm saying, but in the parlor or the way of Casey Kenny, I thought it was more going to be 29-28 for Casey. So when they mentioned Dominic won that fight, I kind of questioned it. Just because I felt like Casey was more of the aggressor kind of. Here's the thing about Dominic Cruz, and I'm gonna say something about Dominic Cruz that probably many people have said in the past. The guy has a style that lends himself to point fighting. I'm starting to realize he's more of a point fight. He's like a Floyd Mayweather, where he kind of ducks and dodges, has like that weird stance, and then all of a sudden just shoots right off into a double leg takedown, and you don't know where the fuck you were at.
Yeah, but who's Floyd Mayweather? The GOAT, and one of the smartest businessmen in the sport too, because he just fought that way, preserved himself so much, beat everybody.
Yeah.
What I'm looking for right now is the last time Dominic Cruz finished somebody. I know it's been a long time.
Oh, it's been over 10 years, probably.
Oh my, man,
he's found a way to eke out decisions.
Here's the thing, man. It's to the point where like some of these just say win because they're at like weird locations. I don't even see one.
Yeah. And that's
okay, here we go. I'm sorry. There was a doctor stoppage against Brian Bowles in the WEC.
Wow.
That was 2010. So yeah.
Yeah. I was about to say 11 years. And I mean, that's the thing, man. Dominic Cruz is
Floyd Mayweather does the same thing.
And I'm not going to take anything away from him, but I think honestly they were looking more at the points than they were at the actual fight. It has to be
tough to figure out how to fight that. Obviously it is, because not many people have done it. Cody did it.
Yeah.
I'd love to talk to him someday about how he did it. But like I said before, that the analogy I made was like, it looks to as a fan, it looks the same as someone trying to hit a knuckleball, right?
Yeah.
In baseball, because it's like, if you really, it's not like you have anybody to really help you practice with, unless you have one on your team, which right now I don't think there's any major league knuckleballers right now. And at most there's like 2 or 3. So it's not like you have somebody in your team that you try to figure it out, but it's unpredictable. So really, you just say, okay, I'm just going to see it and hit it. I'm just going to throw at it, right? That's basically what you got to do with Dominic Cruz. He's the best footwork in MMA, hands down, as far as the way he moves. And that's why he's been so dominant. It's a very close fight. I thought he won the fight, but it was very close. Like, the thing is, if Kenny would have lost, I would be like, I thought Cruz may have had it, but I'm not too disappointed with it. It's a really close fight. Kenny fought very well. But Cruz, especially, he's a guy who says there's no such thing as ring rust, and he kind of proves it by winning, right? He beat TJ Dillashaw and he had years off, right? Yeah. And this one, I mean, he looked good, but the beginning of the fight is when he looked the weakest, I guess I would say. Like he's warming up, like he's trying to figure it out again.
Yeah.
And he got it. He figured it out.
And hats off to Dominic Cruz. I mean, he's one of those guys, a very smart commentator as well.
Great commentator.
Sometimes he can be a dick. We
remember the
Joe Rogan incident where he just kept like saying Joe Rogan doesn't know what he's talking about and all that kind of stuff.
When was that? They've worked together, haven't they?
Yeah, but this was like a while back when like Dominic Cruz was like first starting out to.
He said the same shit about commentator.
He's grown. We talked about growing, but it's one of those things, man, where he's just the worst loser.
He's the worst loser. I know. He wasn't even a great winner Saturday, because he did that weird. He called out the CEO of Monster. Yeah, you didn't hear that? Yeah, he called him. He said, "Let's do a charity fight, man." It was weird. It was a weird thing I don't like. We probably talked about this. I don't like fighters calling out non-fighters to fight them. That's strange to me.
It is, but I mean,
unless they do it first, unless they say I want to beat up Dominic Cruz, that's different. But if you're just saying, "Hey, man, you think you're tough? Fight me." I'm like, I'm not a fighter, though. I'm not a. It's weird.
It can be.
Apparently, he's done a lot of douchey stuff, and there's a reason. Apparently, he is talking like he's tough. Which, compared to those guys, you're not. Even though he's bigger than Dominic Cruz, apparently. That's what he said during the interview. Yeah, it was weird. It was a weird thing to do after you just want to fight. Okay, do whatever you want, bro. I don't know.
Let's move on to... This is my favorite fight of the night because I've never in my life seen a Chiron change so quickly on anything. And I think, honestly, they were just trying to avoid dick jokes, which, come on, they're fun, they're amazing, and you can make fun of the name and you're in your own home doing it. But damn you, Disney and ESPN, for taking this away from us. How dare you?
Tell us what you're talking about.
I was about to bring it up, actually. Here, let me bring it up. The fight before that was Song Yong Dong versus Kyler Phillips. Kyler Phillips ends up winning in a judge's decision. But what happened was they had the lower Chiron, which has the names of the fighters and also the time clock with the rounds underneath the time clock. And all of a sudden, and I'm drunk by this time, I've got a couple beers in me. I noticed that Yadong is actually right there. And I don't know if somebody like hit up the technical director. I don't know what the hell. Somebody was watching Twitter a lot. Who knows? But all of a sudden, second round, it changed to song.
Yeah.
It's taking the fun out of it, man.
I don't think it's the reason you thought of it. I think it's just because people get confused in what some of the Asian fighters want, what they want first, what they want Yadong, you want Song, and they mix it up. Like you said, you look at different sites, it says Song Yadong or Yadong Song, depending on. So I'm assuming it was just that. Like they were planning on doing it one way, they messed it up and they switched it. It's funny. Kyler Phillips though. This is a big step up for Kyler Phillips, right? We're wondering, like, they have to see something in this dude because he's fighting a really tough guy. And obviously they did. They knew what they were doing because he looked fantastic. He dominated this fight. And against a very, very, very tough dude, Kyler Phillips looked fantastic.
Yeah, very much so. Very impressive over the 3 rounds. And I'm happy that the Matrix Jesus definitely.
Everything is wrestling, it's grappling, and stand everything, man. He shot the right time. It's awesome. Great job.
It was fun.
Now he's going to fight a monster. He's going to fight a monster at 135 pretty soon. Well, he just fought a monster, but he's going to fight, another top 12 guy or something like that. And
I'm pumped to see more of Kyler Phillips, to be honest with you. I'm very pumped about it. But let's talk about Mr. Megan Olivier himself, Joseph Benavidez, taking on Askar Askarov. And Askar just looked like a fucking G this entire fight, man.
Yeah, it would have been cool if he made weight. He didn't.
Yeah.
However, only monsters do this to Joseph Benavidez. Only guys named Figueiredo or Demetrius Johnson do this to Joseph Benavidez. And now Askar Askarov, I mean, this guy, now he's at the top of the list now. You do this to Joseph Benavidez, excuse me, you're at the top of the list as far as the flyweights. Moreno and Figueiredo have another date coming up to run back that draw. After that, man, right now it's Askar Askarov. What else do you want, man? I mean, now they're talking about Cody Garbrandt and maybe Aldo, but that hasn't been set up yet. So maybe they're thinking other things. Maybe they're thinking Askar Askarov and Cody Garbrandt, which would make a lot of sense if he's going to move down. If he's going to move down the flyweight and wants that title, that makes a lot of sense. Cody Garbrandt versus Askar Askarov. The winner gets the championship fight against whoever wins that next fight against Moreno and Figueiredo. That would make a lot of sense. And I'm just thinking of this now. It's the first time I thought about it. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I would like to see Cody Garbrandt versus Askar and see what happens.
Yeah, that's a great fight.
Because, I mean, Cody with the ability to just shut someone's lights off the way he does, and then Askar just being the beast that he was during this fight. It's a good clash of styles that I think
it's really fun that the local guy for me is also like a super exciting fighter, right? It sounds like, oh yeah, this guy's fighting again. He's going to Lampert. No, I mean, listen, it's fun to watch Cody fight anyway, right? Because he's exciting, but it's kind of cool because, I knew him a little bit. Like I said, I don't really pretend I know him a lot, but
you've met him.
Yeah. He knew who I was for a while. He used to know who I was.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I told you a billion times about that, Andrew Law and him sparring in the basement of the Y. It was just us three. I was keeping time for him.
Yeah.
Just standing there watching those two spar. Right? Didn't know that he was going to be champion. Dominic Cruz was the champion at bantamweight at the time, and then didn't know a few years later, he'd be beating that guy. It's pretty cool. And I've rolled with Cody before too. Yeah, how many champions have you rolled with, Ray? UFC champions. Count them.
None.
Count them. What?
Absolutely none.
None. One.
I've rolled with a former member of the Ultimate Fighter.
That's cool.
Closest. Yeah.
One.
Yeah, pretty much. That's it. I got yelled at by a UFC coach in Dwayne Ludwig.
You told me that. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. What was that for? Not bowing?
Yeah, not bowing in and out.
Oh, yeah, you deserve that. You deserve that.
Yeah, I did. No, and I changed my ways and made sure.
On and off.
Kind of a weird douche, but I don't know.
That one.
It was odd.
I'm not saying he's not a douche, but you deserve that one.
No, I am a douche.
You're a douche? Oh, we knew that.
Yeah, I'm taking responsibility for me here on that one. I entered weird. I felt awkward. I was kind of nervous too because it's the first time I go into a new gym kind of thing. So
I think I bowed when I went in the cage. I don't know. I'll check the tape. I think I did.
I want to. That's my goal though. This year too is to start training to fight and probably fight in 2020 or 2022. I kind of want to
I'm
make
so
that.
excited for that. I hope that happens.
Me too. I want it to happen, and hopefully I can do it under the Rev banner, or even if I come down there more, Route 250, one of those, and see what we can. Scott Corbin, I'm right here. I've got
he'll get
training.
He'll get your fight. Oh, I don't know if he's still doing that or not. I don't. Well, he's not doing lately because for a lot of reasons. Obviously, because COVID, it's nothing going on. But yeah. Oh, let's talk about this quick. Josh Steins, is that his name? Passed away. Yeah, the guy who was the announcer for Honor Fighting Championship. Is that his name? Josh Steins? Let me double check. I don't want to.
I'm looking it up right now.
Anyway, we'll get his name correct. I apologize, sir, but I've seen this guy announce cards multiple times. Does a great job, dude. This guy, his suit game is always fantastic. This guy like red suits, white suits. He looked fantastic. This guy's suit game is fantastic. That's a fair part of seeing what going to a show, seeing what this guy's going to be wearing. He's always wearing a great suit. He has a lot of videos online of him announcing. He will live on through those forever. But yeah, I did a great job, and it's really bummer. Apparently, it was surprising to everyone. I don't know what happened, but everyone that I know who knew him, I didn't know him personally. The people I know who knew him personally say nothing but good things about the guy. So that's a big bummer. Did you figure this out? Was that his name?
No, I couldn't find thing. A bunch of people though did share it that I know as well. Guys like I think Justin Doan, Michael Moran, a few other people shared just loving notes for this guy, and that is a shame. It's always sad when you lose like such a booming voice, because when you sent me honor fighting stuff, I watched him do introductions, and the guy had pipes. Like he had really good pipes, and for being a guy who wants to do wrestling ring announcing in general, he's definitely a guy you want to like watch over and over again, because he just has that energy and voice to him that really makes an MMA fight on a smaller level just so much bigger because of his voice. And that it's the one thing that like honor fighting, if that comes back, if any organization that used him in the past, definitely it's going to be he's going to be missed, and condolences to his family as well.
Yeah, man, I looked at the Honor Fighting Championship page, and they just didn't put his last name up. I just feel bad if I messed it up. I know his first name was Josh. I think it's Steins. I apologize again if I'm wrong, because I definitely don't want to shut the guy out and then get his name wrong.
No. You're just emotional.
Yep. Signs, S-I-N-E-S.
Okay. Josh Signs.
Josh Signs. Yes. R.I.P. sir. Wasn't that old too? Yeah, not very old. But I see all these pictures of him, man. He had like sparkling black suit. This guy, he may have done wrestling too, because the Honor was owned by a wrestling promotion. Then when they started doing fights, he started doing it. I didn't see him until Honor, so I'm a get. I don't know. Maybe he worked with them before. I don't know.
Or is it OPW? I think it's
don't ask me, man. I don't know.
It might be OCW, because that's near you. Because I think Brett Thomas's cousin is a wrestler for them as well. And he was so I'm not sure, but at the same time, RIP, sir. You're gonna be ring announcing some fights up there. Say hi to Jimmy Lennon Jr. Or Jimmy Lennon Sr. for me, because that's one of my favorite voices of all time. Oh man, you want to move on to the next fight, my friend, and kind of go rapid fire?
This one was pretty fun, man. This is
Bro
Rogerio
Botaran, I believe.
Yeah, this dude was smothering Kaya France here for a while. Almost the whole round. Until he popped up and clocked him. This is great. It's a great comeback. The whole round was Boratan's fight. And then, sometimes we hit a guy in the face, the tides turn, and he did. It was great. Fantastic fight, sir. Awesome.
It was great.
I'll watch it again probably, because it was a quick one. It was fun. I mean, he was super close to getting submissions. I mean, I'm actually surprised he got out of them. That's how tight they were. Some of those rear naked chokes, at least one, they're super tight. So yeah, good job, man. Great
Here's
fight.
one.
I did pick this guy, Cara France, but I didn't think. I mean, I thought it was wrong there for a second there until he knocked him out.
That was a good call. It was a good call, though. I mean, yeah, once he knocked out Boric, it was like, God damn, man, what are you feeding this boy? He's fucking just clocking dudes in the face like Kevin Holland off his ass. You know, it does happen. I can't wait for that. By the way, Kevin Holland's next fight.
Yeah, that's 2 weeks from now. That should be fun.
It should be amazing. But let's move on to. We already talked about Tim Elliott. And his just destruction of that guy, because I forget his name already. We've been talking for 2 hours.
Espinoza, yeah.
But this one, I was in the kitchen for.
What?
And I was grabbing a beer.
The whole fight?
No, it was second round or end of the first round. I went in to get a beer and smoke a bowl.
Dude, I'm pretty sure what I said. I know I picked Alberg, but I remember what I said is that Alberg apparently has great striking skills. Alessania is a training partner, and he talks great things about him. But the thing is, he only had a few fights. So I think if, I mean, it's very possible for Ninjachiku to out-experience him. And that's exactly what happened, man, because he lost his gas tank. Overall, I think Alberg probably is the more skilled fighter. However, that's not always, doesn't always matter. Obviously, you have to fight the fights. And Kennedy did a great job of weathering the storm and then knocking out a tired Carlos Alberg with a giant right. He looked awesome. It's great. This one fight, they gave him a $50,000 each for fifth fight of the night, which is a big deal for these guys because they're probably only making about 10 and 10 each. So that's, big deal for them. Even Alberg, who he lost the fight, but he got an extra fight, $50,000 for just having a good fight. So congrats, sir. It was an awesome fight. It was awesome.
That was a fun.
But yes, Alberg is going to learn a lot from this fight for sure.
You can only hope. I mean, especially getting knocked out the way he did.
No, there's no way he doesn't, right? Unless he, folds or something, which I don't expect him to do.
No. Let's talk about Sean Brady and Jake Matthews.
Dude, Sean Brady is a beast.
Huge.
Jake Matthews is a very tough guy, and he just smothered him for 3 rounds, man. This is right. This was another third round submission triangle choke. It happened twice on this card. Third round triangle chokes, but basically the same thing. He was basically done and tired by the time he got this thing. But dude, Brady looks fantastic, and he's undefeated, and he's beat some super tough dudes. And Jake Matthews is a super tough guy. I picked Matthews because I didn't know too much about Brady. I was wrong by a lot because Brady looked awesome, and so I'm excited to see him possibly top 15, taking on some of those killers in the top 15 of the welterweight division. Yeah, he looked awesome.
Oh, hell yeah, man. This was one of the fights where when he pulled off what he got, I was like, God damn. Because it was slick. Like Sean Brady's ground game is phenomenal, and I'm excited to see more of this kid. I want to see way more of him. And then, Jake Matthews obviously just tired out, in the third round, couldn't really do anything. And it's one of those kind of sexy little fights that really helps,
Mm-hmm.
And then let's move on to Souza versus Lemos. Wasn't familiar with these two. Now we are.
Souza was supposed to win this fight, apparently. Man, Lemos, man, he starched her, man. It was great.
It was sexy. It's quite sexy.
I don't remember if it was a left or right. I can't remember, but it was great. She knocked her out and then finished her on the ground. It was great.
It was pretty. It was very pretty, and I was excited to see that one. This one.
Oh, this was the weird one, was it? Yeah.
Yes, somebody called medic because it's definitely last jaw, and he has a pretty jaw.
His nickname is the Doctor, so they're playing on it too. So.
Oh man, what did you think about this fight?
This was great. The finish. It took too long. This is another Mark Smith. I feel like, Cruz at the end of the fight, that sequence there, it only took a minute 40, but he was trying to get up, and when he was getting up, he wasn't completely getting. He was so slumped over. I mean, you could see that he wasn't able to get. He was done. You could tell he was done. And Mark Smith waited too long. He took too many shots he didn't need to. But it was a great knee and a great finish. This Medic dude I think this was his first UFC fight. Yeah, because he came out the Contender Series. It was great. He's nasty.
And then our last fight on the card, I will admit I did not watch. I
I'll tell
started
you what
watching.
happened.
I looked to see what happened, but my computer, after we had finished doing our podcast, just decided to take a shit, and I had to like restart it like 3 times, and it was taking a fortnight for me to fucking actually like get the thing to work. So I was like, no, and I saw it moved on to the next fight. I'm like, I missed the fucking fight. But yeah, tell us about this one.
Yeah, okay, this finished in second round. Trevin Jones knocked him out with this. It says lead uppercut. It was weird. It was like half uppercut, half jab. It kind of looked like a submarine pitcher, like an Adam Simber or a Darren O'Day kind of thing. It was like It was like half. It was half from the side, also uppercut. So we got him like right in the chin there, right, just on the angle, and knocked him out clean. It it was a great way to start the card. Fucking starch this friend, his blah blah blah. Excuse me, starch this fellow. And knocked him out. Great knockout. Awesome. I don't remember who they gave bonuses to. I know they gave it to Kennedy and Alberg. They didn't give a bonus to Nunes, which seems kind of like a bummer. However, she's making enough money anyway, but she kind of deserves it. Maybe they did one of those on the side cash things like they've done in the past. She deserves it.
Guaranteed.
I mean, and I think
Nunes is probably getting a bonus on the like for Christmas or fucking.
Well, she's getting pay-per-view buys too. I mean, she had to split it a bunch of ways probably because of how many title fights they had.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who else. I think Lemos might have been one of them, and Rizikar France. I can't remember. I think they were all prelim fights, but yeah.
I think they were all prelim fights just because. Fight of the night goes to Kennedy. Looking at it. Where are
I think
we
it was
at?
Lemos, and it might have been Jones, or maybe it's Brady. I don't know. There's a lot of good finishes, man.
It was a pretty night of fights, man.
It was great. There's 2 third-round arm triangles. There was a great arm bar with a body triangle. There's some knockouts. There's some wars. Good card for sure. Okay. We wish that the Jan Sterling fight ended a different way, but it is what it is. And we also wish that maybe a little bit more action with the Blachowicz fight, but it was good. He still was a good fight. We was hoping for a bar burner. We didn't get that, but we got a good fight for sure.
I liked it, man. It was definitely a good way to spend my Saturday night. And definitely better than what I watched yesterday. So there's always that. But all in all, I'd say this was definitely a 5 out of 5 when it just came to how everything played out. The presentation was good.
What's the next one? Oh, 260.
260, baby. You got Stipe versus Francis.
Right, and Volkanovski and Brian Ortega. That should be good too.
Watch
out for Brian Ortega.
Ooh, I'm excited for Brian Ortega to get another title shot. I really am, especially after the way that Max just did him and made him look like made him look like a young guy compared to a guy who's been fighting since he was 20 years old and
he was in the UFC since he was 20. Yeah. Ortega didn't look like that when he fought Zombie, though. He looked fantastic when he fought Zombie. So, best he's ever looked by a walk, not just jiu-jitsu guy, man. He beat him on his feet. So there you go, man. I'm excited for that for sure.
And I'm excited to talk about that myself, my friend. Do you have anything else?
This week we have Muhammad, right? Muhammad and Edwards. So
yeah, that's going to be a good fight.
They also moved Angela Hill and Ashley Yoder, which was supposed to be last week. They moved that to this week, so that will happen. That's good.
That's going to be a good fight. I'm going to be digging that, and I'm going to look forward to be talking with you about that on Friday. And hopefully by tomorrow, I've been speed uploading episodes to our distribution platform. So you can go see those right now as we're watching this.
Right.
And Tim, are you going to pee?
Yeah, sign off, but don't leave because I need to talk to you for a second.
Okay, I'm going to pee too. Thank you guys for watching the Bro Plata podcast and listening to us on our various platforms. You guys are amazing. We have a special interview coming up on Wednesday that will be up Wednesday night, Thursday morning. That will shock the world. because of the fact that we got this gentleman thanks to a couple friends of ours, and we're looking forward to that. But for Tim Danko, I'm Ray Highclack. Go check us out at Bro Plata. Dig Danko is what you need to check for Tim Danko. Ray Highclack right here. Just follow us to the Kumite. We're always there.